What's up, Bryce? Oh, just doing a little. Figure I just do a little live. Waiting on the daughter to make dinner, so figure what the hey. No, I'm not in Troutdale. Why would you think I'd be in Troutdale? Dude, you had a heck. Hey, what's up, Joey? Um, yeah, I didn't end up going out there tonight. He was tied up, and I had storm damage. Hey, Bill. Uh, we had a windstorm, pretty good one last night, so it kind of screwed up the place a little bit. So I thought I'd better stay home, fix some tarps, clean up some fir boughs and pine cones, and it was just a mess. We had some pretty bad wind last night. So tomorrow I'm gonna try and get out there to Dean's place and get those parts. So I was a little busy this morning, and that's why I missed your live. Sorry, brother. It looks like you didn't need me anyways. Shoot, you had that thing all figured out. It's pretty awesome. So what's everyone up to tonight? Shoot, nobody was live again. It's like, what the heck? yeah, I thought it was a pretty good show too. I sat and watched it after I came in, made maybe a little sandwich. That was a couple hours. I actually turned it on out here and started working, listening to it. Hey, what's up, ASO? Yeah, I thought, what the heck? I'll do a little live. I haven't done it in a while. I've been out here dinking around. You can see it's getting even messier and messier. Got these casters for a shelf I've got over here. I'll kind of see if I can show it without making you see. I see it kind of all a weird angle. I don't know if it'll shut off on me here. I might be able to see it. Kind of welding some feet on the end of it. I got that end up in the air drying because I just painted it. Putting some casters on it so I can load some crap on it and move it around because everything's got to be mobile around here. The cars aren't. Pulling Bryce, knock it off. Put the truck bed over. Oh, nice, right on. Yeah, I haven't seen your latest bed video yet. Seems like you're kicking butt on that thing already. That engine? Oh no, buddy. That's staying here. Yeah, trust me, you didn't miss much. We just got started. I gotta figure out which screen to watch here. I got little guy and big screen. I put my spectacles on just so I can read. Oh shoot. Oh no, $4,000 to fix the roof? Oh no. I'm assuming insurance is not going to give me that, or you may not have had insurance on it. That sucks, man. Boy, $4,000 ain't exactly easy to come by right these days. What's going on, Big Wrench? No. It's cold outside. You need to leave these indoors. I'll throw the kids outside before I throw the engine. Actually, my daughter's in making dinner, so I gotta be nice. Oh yeah, that's a bunch of BS, isn't it? Too old to insure. Really? Well, you insured it when it wasn't old. What the hell's the difference? Insurance, man, is such a racket. Such a racket. Hopefully you can hear me okay. My microphone's right here, but moving around. Oh, well, that sucks. Oh, good. I hope so. I kind of ponied up with this mic. It's supposed to be my I want to do some voiceover stuff with some of my old videos because the sound in those suck. Hey, what's up, Dean? So I got this on sale. It was one of those after Christmas deals. Uh, I haven't obviously done the voiceovers yet, but I brought it out here. So that's getting pelted with dust and everything else. You should get a wireless mic. Yeah, you know, what one works good with a computer though? I can just plug the dot. Well, I got a headset style one, but those kind of annoy me. Thinking like an earpiece style one or something. Ain't got no gas in it. It ain't got an ass in it either. That'd be me. Well, hopefully, so you can maybe round up some buddies and see what you can do to fix that thing. I mean, roofs are roofs. Just got to make the water run off. That's kind of my thing. Is I can't afford to pay no one to do nothing, so I got to do it myself. That's probably why I'm broken, run down, and tired all the time because I do everything. I don't get anyone to help. But I don't know, it's kind of rewarding in a way. Then I get to say, "Oh, I get to know how to fix a roof." Well, then you're taking on more projects than you have time for. What's in the red bag in the back? Red bag. What red bag are we looking at? Oh, um, that red bag back there, look, sitting on top of that engine. I can't read these damn things. That is a dentless repair kit. Or, yeah, paintless dent repair kit. Here we go. Let's say it right. This, I'm assuming, I got it off of the Jungle website a couple years ago. I was thinking I was going to be fixing dent in the roof of my truck, and I ended up getting a deal from these two guys that were starting a PDR business. So I thought, what the hell, I'd give them some business to start. And I'm going to use that on the boys' Ranger, I think. That way, I didn't really want to accidentally mess it up on my truck. We don't care about his. But yeah, that's what it is, Bryce. It's a PDR kit, paintless dent repair, or whatever that is. It's not supposed to mess up the paint. We'll see how well it works. It's Amazon stuff, I think I got everybody on here. I think I need to go to a little bit bigger TV. Or I'm going blind. I'm not going to doubt that. Getting ignored, Joey. Who ignored what? Uh, uh, yeah, exactly. It's like Dean says, hang in there, man. You're going to catch a break one of these days. Good Lord. Poor guy can't catch a break at the moment. You'll get yours. Just be patient. Maybe it's a sign telling you need slide a new one onto the property or something. Or maybe there's an upgrade in your future. I don't know. Things work in mysterious ways. How bad is it? Can you think you can doctor it up? Oh, yeah, right. You know what? This is kind of the cool thing about this mic is it's picking up sound from this side and in this way, but when I walk out front, like if I had the speakers going or whatever, I was trying this out one of our lives after the game show. It doesn't pick up any sound here. So it's kind of a cool mic. Really. Here, I'll move it up a little closer. There we go. I have a lot of rusty cars. Yeah, I don't need to be buying any more cars. That's for sure. If you want to buy some, go for it. Yeah, it has that setting, Joey, where it will do a 360. I have it set up so that it doesn't go backwards. 'Cause usually it's sitting right in front of my speakers that are up here too. And I don't want to blow you guys out when I'm doing a StreamYard one. So it actually doesn't pick up anything in front of it, only the sides and towards me. Kind of a fancy mic. It's a little bit fancier than even I should probably own. I'm thinking, yeah. Good, right on, dude. That's awesome news, Donnie. 600 subs. That is awesome. Sick, you just. Well, Dean, I'm sure I'll break out of it sooner or later, but now that I have this disaster in here, I have no desire to add any more until I get this mess under control. And that's, these bins here, I got a couple, well, you can see a couple of them sitting up here. There's a couple down here. I'm trying to get organized. I bought a boatload of stuff from, hey, Tim, how's it going? I bought a boatload of stuff from Mid 50. I don't know if some of you guys are familiar with Mid 50 F100 parts. Unfortunately, they closed the doors at the end of the year. So I kind of got a little friendly and spent a lot of money I probably shouldn't have. But again, I think it started off at like 30, then it went to 50. And after they closed, everything went to 75% off. So I kind of got a little carried away. Yeah, I bought a lot of crap. But how often do you get the chance to get it at 75% off? Did I buy a ton of it? No. I know I've heard some guys are real jerk offs and bought a lot of crap and they've been reselling it. And I hope they get struck with lightning. I'm not one of those to profit off someone else's misfortune like some of these dick bags do. I ain't naming names, but I know some. But yeah, I just bought enough to keep my junk rolling. I wasn't gonna hoard everything. I bought enough to keep my rigs going and a couple I may build in the future. So I wasn't gonna. I mean, I'll tell you, 75% off, man. It was hard not going crazier than I did. So. Pedal to the metal. Oh, Dead Pedal Motors. Oh, I don't know if I know him. I will have to check him out. Oh, there we go. ASO linked him. I see it now. Yes, thank you, ASO. I will check him out. Her, him, whoever. I'm waiting for that. No, I don't think they're gonna be going 80%, Bryce. If you get on there now, everything they have, their entire stock, at least last time I looked, was like 14 pages, which they were in the thousands of pages of parts. So they're pretty well cleaned out, and it kind of makes me sad because Mid 50 made a lot of stuff that was specific to the 53 to 5 trucks or 53 56, and they made a lot of parts. And I don't know where I'm going to be able to get some of the stuff. And yeah, true. Well, Dean, you're not wrong. I'll tell you what Torino I'm going to be after, and it's going to be another unicorn, and I don't know if I'll ever see it, but it's going to be the one Torino I do buy, and that's a 70, not a J code, but what is that? In code, an in code 70 Torino Cobra. So everyone thinks, oh, J code, the shaker hood car. I don't want the shaker hood car. In code 670 Torino Cobra. That's the one Torino I am on. Well, if I have the money and I see one, can't cut it. Oh, Tim, that's right. I don't have you as a wrench. I gotta have Tim as a wrench. I didn't realize I didn't have you as a wrench. There we are. There you are, brother. Can't put up links without being the wrench. Oh, are you not a wrench? Should be. Yeah, it should be now. Okay. See a 71. Now the GTs are one thing. You could take a GT and turn it into a Cobra, but I'd rather have the real deal. And I know they are not cheap. And N codes are way harder to find than a J. And I would rather have an N, a true one. Tell me more about the N code deal. The N code, so all of these Torino Cobras you see running around, they have that shaker hood on it, which don't get me wrong, that's cool. And there's a little bit of sentimental to it. My dad actually had bought a 70 competition orange or whatever the hell color that was, N code 70 Torino. Was the love of his life. He traded his 66 convertible Mustang for it. It was a really nice car. There's a story that goes with this. There was a guy at the time he was in the Marine Corps. He just gotten out. He's working for civil service or whatever. Well, this guy had this, it was either Olds 442 or something. He's running his mouth. And Dad wanted to shut him up. So he traded the Mustang in on this Torino. And of course, it was a 4-speed car, not a drag pack or nothing like that. But he bought it to whip his ass, and he successfully did that. And then he met my mom, and they ended up moving off. They've ended up living together for a little bit. And he was on his way to work one morning, and he was sitting at a traffic light, and this big truck, he was watching him in the rearview mirror, was coming up on him. He wasn't slowing down. And that big truck just right into that Torino, and that shoved him into the car in front of him and folded that Torino up like a cheap lawn chair. And he was so distraught. Oh, he was pissed. They totaled it. There was nothing they could do with it. It looked like an accordion. And he was so mad because he loved that car. Back then he only had a couple, 2-3 cars. And he only had the one car. That's right. So the Torino, and my mom had a little Falcon wagon she was driving. I think that's the only, and he had an old 60s Ford pickup. That's right. Yep. And that was before his 32 coupe. And yeah, it was a sad, sad day. Yeah. And it was a cool car, man. MJ's in season 70 and 71. Awesome. Yeah, I don't know. What's the C code? I'm not sure. I know the N's just a Thunderjet. I think the C's that wasn't a Cobra car, though. It was only N or J that were Cobras. I think. Yeah, yes, Big Wrench. Yep. The Cobra was also the car they threw out on the track to whip some butt on. Yep. The King Cobra, not a lot of people know about that King Cobra. And I never, to be honest with you, I never really cared for the nose of it, but I see what they were doing. That was definitely going to be the wing car killer, like you said. Yes. And then NASCAR went, it's enough. Slow you boys down before you kill somebody. Yeah, don't do that. Let them run wild. That's what I say. Yeah. Yeah, Dad's had, everyone talks about the day 2. I think the car was 2 years old when he bought it. He bought it in 72 off a used car lot. Had slot mags on it, so it's like everyone's day 2. Dual exhaust slot mags, and had these, I think it had mud flaps on it, said Torino on them. Like I said, competition orange. The hood, I think the hood was blacked out, like a Cobra would. Of course, the tail panel was blacked out, had a little Cobra emblem on it. Beautiful car. I got pictures of it. I need to do a little video of his cars one of these days. Oh, hey, I'll see you later, Bill. I just now saw that. Have a good night, brother. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. I sent you something on Messenger. You did. Let's see what you sent me. Can't read nothing of these things. Oh, yeah. Yep. King Cobra. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If anyone wants to know what it looks like, let's see if it'll show up. So that, best as it'll show up, that's the King Cobra Torino. That was Ford's answer to the Winged Wonders from Mopar, as I like to call them. Which, hey, you know, they did whatever they had to do to win. Yes, Bill will be live tomorrow. I will try and catch that. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate it. Yeah, 240Z. No, that's what it looks like. I don't know if that's actually what they used or what was going on with that. I get another message on here. Oh, my Bryce is sending me crap. Oh yeah. So, let's see if this thing will turn on me here. Nope. So what Bryce has got, this is a J code. See how it's got the shaker hood on it? Yeah, this doesn't really. Not a very good picture. It's hard to do these on your phone. The stupid thing won't turn sideways. That's a 70 Torino J code because it has a shaker hood. Talladegas are cool. Yes. Yeah, I do like Talladegas. But like I said, there's a little bit more. There's some sentimental behind the Torino. Plus, I like that 70 body style, anyways. I mean, in the fact that everybody's got J code shaker cars, yeah, okay. To have an N code 4-speed bucket seat car, it's kind of a more, my opinion. I think they're more rare than the J cars. So personally, I would rather have that. C code. Oh, so the C code was the CJ. J was the SCJ. Okay. And then N is just a Thunderjet. Gotcha. Okay. I know the N was a Thunderjet. I'm not really much of an expert on those, but I'm learning. I've never actually owned a Torino. Yeah. Thunderjet or PI 429s. I'm assuming the PI was probably the same as the Thunderjet. I like the 68 and 69 fastback Torinos, which would be your Talladega. It's just those are just as untouchable. And around here, it seems like every dang one of them you see is just rotten. I mean, rusted really bad. If you find one, and it's really weird. I think I have a better luck trying to find a 60 or a 70 71 than I would a 68 or 9. I think I've only seen one or two 68 or 9s around here. They're super rare. Or, well, at least out here. Thanks for posting that, Tim. Yes, indeed. Catch Bill's live tomorrow. And I don't know if all of you have heard, Bryce actually put out some good stuff this week, too. The Jack picnic video where he gets, well, I'm not going to spoil it. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Bryce did a heck of a job on that. Threw me for a loop because I seen that Pontiac that kicked off the car transporter. I'm like, man, no way. And yeah, definitely, he threw me for a loop. I told, don't tell me nothing. I hate surprises, but I was willing to wait, and I'm glad I did. And it was really good teasers because he had me all turned up, and then or turned around, I should say. When I saw the video, I was like, oh, this is awesome. Awesome. Yeah, watch Bryce's Jack picnic video and catch his live. I'm actually pretty proud of Bryce. I wasn't on there. Yeah, of course, he had some help from some of you guys on the live, but I wasn't there, and he was doing the whole thing himself for the most part without me sitting there chattering in his ear, and he got a lot of progress. I watched the live, Bryce, by the way. I actually just finished it about an hour ago. You did good, man. Made some real progress on it. I mean, I heard it run. I was kind of working and listening at the same time, but shoot, I want in the very beginning, like, look for a box under the dash because I had an '88 Chevy that had that dealer installed car alarm. It's a GM Goodwrench car. It was, yeah, dealer installed GM Goodwrench car alarm. And boy, I'll tell you, that thing infiltrates the entire system. But that was a key fob setup on that 88, and I didn't have the key fob. And the guy that I got the truck from had already converted it to carburetor, but nothing worked. None of the gauges or nothing worked. So I went through and made the dash work without the computer was disconnected completely. And I put a different, it had a 79 350 carbon intake and stuff on there, Edelbrock. And the neat thing about the Chevys in those years, which I'm going to assume the Buick's the same way, they double up on all their sensors. So if you wanted the stuff in the dash to work, there's separate sensors, one for the computer, one for the car, one for the computer, one for the car. At least on the truck, it was like that. I don't know if Buick did the same thing or not. But being that early, there's a good possibility. Oh, right on. Cool. That's okay. That's right. I remember you saying that. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, Bryce's Jack picnic video, that was a 2-month affair. And it was, of course, he was kind of teasing me with it the whole time. And I'm like, what did Jack do? What did he get now? What did he buy? And I didn't know. I'm not going to spoil any of it, but there was definitely a swap. And I was a little surprised. Well, quite a bit surprised. So I'm not going to talk about it. I'll talk about it more when we do our game show and then the BS session after that. We'll talk because that way it gives everybody time to go watch it because it's actually pretty good. Bill's trick worked with the key, but not every time. So on the alarm setup that was on this 88 Chev pickup, it was, like I said, a good wrench. It had just a little box stuffed up underneath the dash. Essentially, it just poked wires to everywhere. I mean, I think it was designed so that it triggered the alarm anytime a light was turned on, either you open in the door or whatever, however it worked. All I remember is it was unplugged and there was a jumper wire. I can't remember which wires were jumped. They literally cut them off the connector and just put them together. So somehow that's how they jumped the entire alarm system because I never had a problem starting the truck. I didn't do it. The guy that I got it from did it. So would have been nice to have it now because it's probably the similar setup. I could have just showed you what they'd done. I would assume anyways. GM was so much better than. Well, I'm thinking, Dean, on those alarm setups, it was an option, and then the dealer installed it. So that's what it looked like on the Chevy because I looked back, and when you bought that Chevy truck new, you couldn't get an alarm, but the alarm had a 2-year later date on it, and it was a GM Goodwrench alarm kit. So, and everything was soldered on it. So I'm going to assume it was either dealer install or a shop that had a heck of a lot of, that did a really, really nice job on it. Hey, what's up, Tony? All right, ASO, I'll be here for a little bit. New Summit chair. Yeah, it was one of my Christmas presents. It's not as nice as I thought it was going to be, but didn't pay a whole lot. I think I want a really nice chair for out here, like a stool, but I think I'm going to have to find something at a garage sale, like an old 70s wooden one or something. This fat butt of mine isn't super comfortable on that thing at all. It works. Trying to see if someone sent me something. Oh, how hard is it to rip it all out? If it's like the system I had in that 88, it's everywhere. But on the flip side, it was a clean installation. I don't see how it would ever fail. The only problem was, and this is what they did, is they took and just clipped the wire to the horn. So if it was going off, you wouldn't even know, but it still wouldn't do any good because the alarm's still engaged. You couldn't hear the horn going off, but it wouldn't allow you to start, I'm sure. So clipping the horn is not the solution. But they had the wires ran into every door. There was one on the hood, and there was where else was that? Because anytime the dome light kicked on, it looked like the way it was wired, any light in the interior turned on, it was wired into the alarm. There wasn't any extra plungers or anything like that or sensors that I noticed. other than anywhere there was a light. So they had extra wires running all over the place. Power doors, power windows. Yes. Yep. Because that truck was it was a Silverado, so it had power windows and power door locks too. And I think that's what, because the key fob would have been able to unlock it. So that's probably what the extra. There was two wires to each door. I think one went to the dome and one went to the power locks. But like I said, the box was unplugged, and there was two plugs on the box, a multi-pin one and one that had like 4 wires to it. And the one that had the 4 wires was the one that was jumped. The multi-pin one was still plugged into the box, but it didn't do anything. So I just basically I was gonna pull it out. I thought, what if someone wanted to fix this thing? So I just stuffed it back up in there and let it be. It wasn't causing any problems. But the thing of it was you had to get a key fob for it to work right. And I looked and looked and looked to see if I could get a key fob, and for that particular Goodwrench unit, I couldn't find one easily or cheaply, so I bagged it. I was getting rid of the truck anyways. I can't, but I can figure out what the trigger is to get it to stop. I think you just got to loop something. That's what I mean. When I looked at mine and it had, you clipped the speaker. Like I said, it was 2 connectors. The smaller connector looked like it was the power feed ground and whatnot, and they had that looped. The connector was disconnected from the unit, and it was I can't remember which color it was. It's a crappy thing. I'll have to go through my pictures and see if I do take a lot of pictures. I'll see if I took any pictures of that. Yeah, I try not to destroy it. Well, Dean, if they had installed it kind of shoddy, I would have pulled it out. But they were nice soldered connections. Everything looked really good. I thought, I'll leave it be. The next guy can either rip it out himself or fix it. Because I know some of those alarm systems can be a little pricey. And if a guy could fix it, great. Or retro in a newer unit. All the wiring's there then. So that was a K1500 black and dark blue interior. It was kind of a cool truck. I'm not a huge Chevy guy, but it was nice. It was a neat truck. 350 with a 700 R4. It was a short bed too. The crazy thing was when I sold that, man, it was hard to sell. I actually had a buddy of mine put it out at his place. He lives on at the time, lived on a real, almost a main thoroughfare. Well, pretty much it was. And he parked it out there and finally got a guy to buy it. I think I almost gave it away, at least compared to what I could sell it for now. That was probably 5 years ago, 6 years ago, before COVID. But I had more into it than what I sold it for. But I wanted to dump it. That was I originally bought the truck because I knew my then girlfriend's son would be interested in it and like it. And the whole point was for him to work to save up to buy the truck and then help me fix it. Well, number one, he never saved any money. 2, he never showed up to help. And then when he did show up, I had him come over and check it out and everything, try to get the blood flowing. He wanted me to give it to him and he was going to pay me. I'm like, that doesn't work like that, bud. You go earn the money and come see me when you have it full. We agreed on a price. I mean, it was way less than what I had into it, but it was the whole idea making him work for it so he earned it and hopefully would take care of it. But it didn't work out that way, and her and I went different direction anyways, and I sold the truck. Where the wires. I'd have to look, Bryce, to see which ones. I mean, you can go ahead and send me some pictures. I can do a little bit of research. If you took pictures of the wires that go into that box, yeah, I'm not against doing a little sleuthing. Absolutely. I like a good mystery just as much as the next guy. Where's my water at? Kind of get a kick out of the electrical stuff too, Yeah, I haven't really been up to anything else. Just trying to get organized. See, I'll go back out in a week or two to help him again. I'll definitely. Oh, okay. Yeah, no biggie. I think I remember you were talking that he had gotten on the internet and ran into a few forums where people were talking about the carburetor situation. The 88 Chevy was a TBI truck. And like I said, I disconnected the computer's completely disconnected 100%. And the transmission was a 700R4, so it wasn't the electronic one either. So it didn't need it to operate. It just needed a properly set up TV cable. And it just had an Edelbrock on it with a carbon intake, and stainless headers and serpentine setup on it. It worked just fine. Truck got up and went like crazy. So I would imagine, oh shoot, his car's a V6. I don't know if he wanted to ditch that and go to a regular carburetor. I'm not really sure what he'd be able to do. What V6 is it they did that to? Was that a 2 point or 3.8? That should have been 3.8, right? So there would be an aftermarket intake for it if that was the case. Delco P3, really simple to do. Non-feedback for MC. So there's options. Yeah, it's a V6. I remember him saying it was a V6. You don't have emissions down there, or do you have emissions? In other words, if he starts messing around with that thing, is it going to have to pass DEQ? I don't remember. 305 4-barrel carb. Right, but is that... I would imagine on the V6 it would have been like a 2-barrel. For 85, yeah, he does. Oh, no. Is it an equipment check or just a sniffer test? Because I know when we don't have emissions anymore. We had to do an equipment check within 10 or 15 years of the year. And then anything older than that was just a sniffer test. And that ran to 25 years. But then they dropped all of it. It's both. Oh, God. Oh, man. Freaking government. And it's probably because of the county you guys are living in, I'm sure. I doubt it's the entire state of Arizona. You might be right. I mean, communist California is that bad. They might not even be that bad anymore from some of the stuff I've been hearing. Huh. Yeah, that might pose a problem if he has to do an equipment inspection. They might throw up red flags and start deleting or swapping things around. That sucks. They need to get off of that crap. 20 years old or older. I mean, leave it be. All right, Tim. Hey, thanks for dropping in, man. I super appreciate it. Tim's awesome. Gotta love it. Gotta love it when he drops in on your lives. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. GG around the shop. Hey, how's it going, GGG? Around the shop. It must be your other channel, isn't it, Mike? I heard you were doing a second one. Yep, that's what I thought. I don't know if did I sub your second channel? Okay, maybe I did need to check. I thought it was you. I seen you got another rocker video up. I hadn't watched it yet. Can't you just move to Arizona? Why ain't moving to Arizona if you got those stupid emissions tests? That's ridiculous. Even though most of my crap's pretty old. Yeah, see, wouldn't pass the visual. Yeah, that's just stupid. How many 1985 cars are on the road? They're just being petty. That's ridiculous. And even if there were some 85s on the road. They're not driven daily, so who really cares? Let me post. Oh, I see. Gotcha. YouTube Premium. You must be a high roller. I'm not. I'm on the poor farm YouTube. I'm not. I'm not big enough to be a premium guy. Nothing I got's premium, including all my crap in here. It's only mediocre. Oh, I know I hate commercials too, but then again, some of y'all, if you're monetized, I suffer through them because it gives me a chance to take a leak or run in and grab something to drink too. But I know it helps some of y'all out watching commercials, so I do that. You're on the YouTube D minus. Yeah, I think we're on the same program, Dean. But now I know the commercials, they suck, but it helps y'all get paid. So, like I said, gives me a chance to go take a leak, grab a bite, or grab a beer, or whatever the case may be. They're not horrible. The only thing that irks me is like I'm not monetized, and I know these jerks have got commercials on my videos and stuff. Whatever. I hope it helps somebody out. The welfare plan. Yeah, that's what mine is. I don't know. Maybe someday I'll upgrade. We'll see. First things first, I got to get this shop cleaned out. I need to get this stall cleaned up. I'm almost done with the shed. I'm farting around with the doors still. I primed most of it. I just been going between the weather. When we get a dry enough day or a warm enough day, I run out there with my paintbrush and roller and throw some more primer on it. I'm bouncing between too many projects. So now I got that thing, which some of y'all probably didn't see, so I'll show it again. I went to Mart, and you can barely see it right there. I welded some feet on the end of it's like a chintzier pallet racking setup deal. And I wanted to put it on wheels, which that's those guys right there. I think I paid as much for the wheels as I did for the freaking rack. But, shaking you guys up. They had one on Craigslist that had wheels on it. Not Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. Went all the way down there to pick up another item, which is down here. And I kept messaging them. They wouldn't answer or respond. And I was getting pissed because I'm like, I'm not driving back down to Salem for your stupid rack. I'm already here. So I don't know how much you guys deal with Facebook Marketplace. Man, there's a lot of flakes on there. Post there. I just had. Mike, no, I did not get it to work right. I actually got pissed. I put the 35-pound popper on it. I shut the trunk. I think I made a couple adjustments to it. I shut the trunk. It wouldn't open again. It was opening for a moment, but then it was blowing fuses. So I think I went up to a 20 or 25. I'm like, yeah, that's a little bit much on 16 gauge. Because in order for me to get it to open again, I have to bang on it to get it to pop open with the switch pulled. So I would have had to go get my mom to come out and pull the switch while I banged it. I just got pissed. And you know what? I left it closed. Maybe the seal will settle down a little bit. Because I never actually had the trunk lid smashing on the seal at all. Mater, you know what a boat anchor is. It's usually got a bow tie strapped on top of it, too. That way you got something to tie the rope to. Those little tie-off hooks. That's why the Chevy bow tie looks like a fucking boat tie-off hook, because you got to put a rope on those, too. Yeah, so anyways, no, I have not gotten back to the popper thing yet. I got to get this place cleaned up too. Because even when I get her car started to get it squared up, I got to bring it over here and put it on the lift too. So it's just, this has got to get done. Yep. Yep. Exactly. I need to get it out in the sun, let the sun bake that thing in. It never had a seal before. That's probably why that popper was working. For any of you guys that don't know what Mike and I are talking about, I actually was talking to Mike one night. And I reached out to him. I was having a problem with the popper popping the lid open on the 55, the Fairlane. I kind of started digging on it a little bit. And I'm like, what the hell? I think it's an Autolock or an Autolock knockoff popper, but I don't think it has enough pull, or something's wrong with it. The car never had a trunk seal on it before, or it had parts of the old one on it, and that was it. So I pulled the lid off. I think you might have seen some Instagram posts of me redoing the jam of the trunk and then putting the seal on. Well, every time I put the seal on, I can't get the trunk to open without bumping it. Even with the auto lock popper, if I pulled the switch and held it on and went back and bumped the trunk, then it would open. So I don't know why. I don't know how hard I got to pull the damn thing to get it to open on its own. So it's oh, I'm good with that, Dean. Trust me, I don't pull any punches. That's one thing you can guarantee is you want to know my opinion. I'll probably tell you without you having to ask. Oh, shoot. Hey, Fox, what's going on, brother? So, anyways, Mike, I got to get back to it. I just figured right now, this is kind of a long weekend. We have President's Day was Monday and all, and I happen to be graced with having Monday off. So, I'm kind of concentrating on this crap here, get it cleaned up a little bit. I may go over and spend Monday at her place and work on the 55. I haven't decided yet. But too many irons in the fire. And then a lot of the reason why I didn't get her car further along last year was I had another project I was working on there that kind of dropped on me. It was an issue that sprang up I had to deal with right away. I did make some video of it. I think I might have put up a little bit of Instagram crap on it. It has to do with another Ford Dentside truck. Matter of fact, when I get these super clean videos posted, which may happen this next week, you'll see the truck. But I end up doing a ton of work. Hey, what's up, J-Ride? I end up doing a bunch of work to it over the summer because of an incident with animals getting into it. So, yeah. I kind of made a hard left. I had to deal with that, and I didn't get my mom's car done like I wanted to because that had to be done when the weather was nice because I had nowhere to work on it other than outside. So I got what I had to get done. I shoved it back into the lean-to, and it's been there since. You'll see it on the super clean video, though. One of the several I'm putting out. Should be next week. That's right. Ollie's Garage will throw a video out finally. I know. Shocker, right? I got to get some videos done. I have stuff from last year I haven't even touched yet. And I need to sell one of the cars that a lot of video footage has been shot on. So it'd probably be better if I put the video out before I got rid of the car. Right? Yeah, it's the same Fox. What am I saying? Distance. What's he talking about? I'm not sure what Dean's talking about. Anyways, yeah, the old weather. Yeah, this weather's been sucking here. That was what was crazy. Was it last weekend? Weekend before last, we were almost 60 degrees, and then this last weekend dropped like a freaking rock. We were down into the 30s again, and it was raining and wet and miserable. Oh man. So let's see. It was nice. Oh yeah, it was during the week, I think is what it was. All I know is they had good weather. That's right, because last weekend was when I went down and picked up the transmission here, and I was going to go get that rack. That's right. Saturday was nice. Sunday got a little wet. That's right. Saturday was nice though. Yes, exactly, J-Rad. My shop's kind of a dump at the moment, but it's because I'm reorganizing. Long, long overdue. So I'm hoping this doesn't take too much longer. I know when the weather gets better, it'll be easier because I can run stuff out the doors and give myself a little space to work. Looks like I have a I have a 460 build. Oh, really? Just an engine or a project into a vehicle and the whole 9 yards? I've decided to get back into. Oh, okay. Fancy. Don't measure anything we pave. I'll tell you right now, the inspectors definitely hold the private contractors to a different level than we are. Long rock, roller cam, full build. Oh, very nice. Very nice. I've got a 460, not that engine, but that one right. Oh, doggone it. Right there. That one. Tip of my finger. I don't know the story of it. It's got rebuild tags on it, like those little buttons they stick on there. They're supposed to pop off when you overheat it. Don't know much about it. I've had that engine for probably, oh God, 11 or 12 years now. Came in the bed of my 56 pickup. It had that and it had a 390 in the bed. I put a 390 in it and it was bad. So instead of switching to the 460, I had another 390, which is the engine it's in it's now. But that 460, I don't know nothing about. I need to check into it, fire it up, and run it. Hey, it's out there for 10 years. I'm in no hurry, obviously. Fox, that's what I always thought of him as too. Turkey timer. Yep, they pop and you're done. Warranty, no more. Of course, half these rebuilders now, these reman places, they won't warranty nothing anyways. I got a guy that I use to do my machine work, and he's a real good guy, real honest dude. Super knowledgeable. I mean, most of what I know is actually picked out of his brain, and he's an extremely knowledgeable Ford guy. He does everything, Mopar, uh, Chevrolet, all of it, but Ford is his staple. So, yeah, he's super smart guy. He did the machine work. Well, let's see. This engine was buried on the last live. So this one here, which I think I need to get clean because it's been, I can't see much. This one here is my 416 FE. It's in a million pieces. So pistons are over here. These are the nice, shiny, all new. However, it didn't get put together because when my father was alive, and I had my blast cabinet, which is that, you can barely see the edge of it, that guy right over here. I had the engine, even though it was wrapped in plastic, sitting right near the blast cabinet. I told him, I says, Dad, make sure you move the blast cabinet or move the engine, one of the two. And he came over and didn't do either of the above and started running the blaster. I didn't have the down tube on it now like I have on it now. And media started going all over the place. And I didn't want to assemble the engine unless I had it cleaned again. So it kind of pissed me off a little bit. And, well, my dad. I want to get mad at him, but I can't. So I pushed it off to the side and I never assembled it because I didn't want to take it back to the machinist and tell him how stupid I was for leaving it near a blaster. So if you're watching this, Jim, if you watch my crap, I'll be calling you for cleaning. I feel like a dumbass. And it's going to cost, of course. I have a fresh machine, so I should do. Yes, you should, Mike. Do something with that thing. Absolutely. Hey, what's up, John? Just seen your thing. How's it going, man? I know where 429 is. $500. 429s are good, dude. You know what? Everyone's all caught up on the cubic inch. I'll be honest with you. Years ago, my dad had a 460 dent side super cab, and that thing ran like a raped ape. I mean, great running truck. And we just always thought it was a 460. It was getting tired. I think it was a 70 or 69 or something like. Obviously, not the original engine. And anyways, he ordered a remanufactured 460 for it, and we proceeded to pull it out. It ended up being a Cobra Jet headed 429. Thing was getting 14, 15 miles a gallon, like nobody's business. Pulling a trailer, great running truck. And we put that 460 in it. He was lucky to get 6 or 8 miles a gallon. The damn thing developed a rod knock, not but a week after it was out of warranty. He ended up getting pissed and sold the whole truck. Oh, he was so mad. That 429 ran circles around the 460 he put in it. And he wasn't a big engine builder guy. He just, he was happy to get a good runner. He didn't do the cam. And like I got into doing cams, and I'll do performance builds and stuff. He wasn't really into that. He always left it up to somebody else to do that stuff. And he ended up buying this Reman, and he was so pissed. So since then, I decided I was going to get educated, because I had the same thing happen to me with a 302 I put in my Ranchero when I was a teenager. I bought a Reman, and it was a piece of crap. So I ended up deciding I'm going to learn how this shit works. I'm going to figure out how this cams and compression and static and dynamic compression and what all this stuff does. And I'm going to do this on my own, because I'm tired of trying to trust some of these builders. Even though I met Jim, Jim's a super knowledgeable guy. If I ever end up not being able to deal with Jim or his kids, and I'm going to need to know this stuff. So I decided to get educated. That's what I've done. John, I might do that. I haven't taken the covering off yet. It may not be as bad as I think, because I always keep the stuff wrapped up. You can see there's the 318 I had out during the live last time. Plastic goes over it. I don't really screw around. This one here is pretty well sealed up. The covers are loose, but I got it taped up underneath, so I don't fool around. I mean, you can see it's capped off. I try to keep everything sealed up. There's even tape underneath this lift plate, so I'm hoping it'll be okay. I'm going to take it out of its plastic and take a look at it. The pistons, on the other hand, I think I'm going to have to pull apart, if nothing else, and wash them out, because they were open and exposed. Again, my bad. I pay the price of stupidity. Whatever. You see, even I screw up, man. I should know better. And I got a little lazy. It happens. We all F up. But I got a ton of money in this engine, so I don't want to screw it up. It's this engine here, I actually was building to put in my 56 pickup. It was going to be a 416 stroker 390. So what that is, for guys that don't know, it's a 428 crank in a 390 block. Gives you 416 cubic inches with a 38 overbore. Not that it's going to be a powerhouse, but I think it was just something cool. And I thought, what am I doing putting that in a truck? No offense to those guys who like trucks that go fast. My mind, trucks drive around the field, pick up cow shit, spread on the lettuce, whatever. Pick up engine parts, pick up car parts. They're trucks. Even my 56 is a truck, So believe it or not, I built this engine to go in it, and I decided I need a car for it to go in. This engine started my 55 and 56 Fairlane Galavants. So this engine was actually going to go in my 56 Fairlane I have hidden y'all haven't seen yet. So, another story. Let's see. That has 68 T-Bird. Yeah, everyone dogs at 429. I really think it's overlooked. The 460, don't get me wrong, the 460 is a torque pulling monster. But I think the 429, which is also the same engine the old man had in his Torino, was just made to run hard. And he did. He beat the hell out of that Torino, the little bit he had it. And everyone else I've heard that's had a 429, just, nothing but good things said about him. It just, the cubes are, you don't have the bragging rights of the cubic inches. That's all. A potato chip bag? Are you kidding? That's funny. Oh man, did that thing overheat? Had to have cooled like crap. I could only imagine plugging stuff up or getting shredded up in the water pump. Oh, it would have pissed me off. Jasper engines. I've heard of that place. I've heard of a Jasper. Were they a chain of rebuilders? Seems to me like they might have been. Yes, yes, Dean, absolutely. 72. I think I have 73 heads on my 460 in my truck. Um, I believe. Okay, thank you. Apparently my dinner is now ready. I'll give a few more minutes. All this. Yep. I think there was something up with the 72 heads, Dean. I don't remember what the deal was. It was something up with the 72 heads. The chambers were the way they were designed. They detonated like a bastard. I have a set of D2 heads though, and I'm gonna look at them someday. Someone was porting on them, and they got a little overzealous. And I think they went too far on it. But because I'd never seen a set of 72s before, I held on to them. Oh, Mike, you've been working on more Fords. Come on now. You know they're good. Jasper does, John. Okay. I think I swear they're a chain, or maybe they're just a well received company at one point in time. I've heard of Jasper. As the pack moved around in the block, we found it when we pulled the. And that's what I would have thought too. The head gaskets would have been on wrong. That sucks. What a waste of freaking time. What kind of a jerk would do that? Set the port angle, change everything. Yeah. On the 72 heads that I know of, what was that I heard? I think maybe I heard the same thing. I know in the 73s mimicked the 7071s, but they just made them deeper. So the detonation wasn't really they didn't really have a detonation problem, but the compression dropped like a rock. I know the 460 in my truck's only like 8.7 to 1, but it still has 466 foot-pounds of torque or something like that. It's pretty good. I think when I did the reman engine, it came. You guys, Mike and John might know him. It was S&S Engines out of Spokane. That was one of the remans I bought. I won't do that again. Nope. I specifically asked for a certain year and build, and they sent me this tall deck 74 piece of crap small block that it pissed me off. I'll never do another reman. I paid for a 69 302 and got a 75 or 74 302. I wasn't happy at all. Yep. 86 460. Yeah, they changed the heads again, didn't they, Dean? Is that what they done? Yeah, S&S was out of Spokane. Here, I'm going to date myself. They advertised huge in the nickel ads. They are a big advertiser in the nickel ads, and they carted engines all over Washington State that I know of. Used to put threes. Oh yeah, yep. Okay. I'm getting blind. I can't read. I need a bigger screen. On the Chevy side, we used to put 3.6 bus motors in the. Oh yeah, 366 bus motors, huh? So basically a stroke 350. Is that what that was? I've heard of them. I work for a Jim Green's. Oh, okay. Yeah, S&S at the time, this was back in the mid 90s, I think. The 302s, the big change came in. Big change was in 74. 73 still had, well, it depends on what you want to. I don't know, because the 75 heads weren't that bad for the 302s. They had a decent chamber size. So, yeah, I guess 76 would have been the real downturn. Because that's when the combustion chambers went huge. Because the 74 and 5 combustion chambers are still 75 cc's. And in 76, they went up to, or I'm sorry, 50. I'm getting my numbers all screwed up here. Was it 58 cc's? And then the 76, they went to 69 cc's. That's right. That's right. Change form probably. Oh, yep. Yep. Midnight, my dad's friend on Woodenville Kings Auto Rebuild. I don't know if I haven't heard of them. Woodenville. Where the hell's Woodenville at? Why does that sound familiar? It sounds really familiar. But I don't know a Kings. That's pretty cool, though. Unique, big, low end torque setup close to 4. Oh, really? Oh, so it's probably not a high RPM turner then, I would assume, Fox? Heads we call F3 heads, not worth keeping. Well, they were throwing that thermactor garbage way back as far as 66 or 67. They had that thermactor crap in the head. I have a set of 66 289 heads. I gave it to a guy. I told him what he had to knock out of the ports to open them up. I just gave them to him. But they've been doing that crap since 67. They're California, or I'm sorry, 66. California cars. Scrapped out a dump truck. 850 had a big. Oh, geez. 540. 540. A Ford truck, John? I thought 521 was as big as they went. Or not 521. What the hell was that? Was it a 545? What was the big Cuban nose? I thought 521 was the big one. The big industrial. Could be wrong. Now you got to watch it, ASO. There's two different sets of 69 302 heads, truck and car, and there is a difference. The combustion chambers are quite a bit different. 69 car, I think, was 60 cc. Were they 58s or 60s? The truck ones were 63s. Super D 521. There we go. I wonder what the 545 was John was talking about. That's interesting. What year was that one, John? Two sets. One. Now, the 351s ASO, they're going to have a little bit better passages and definitely the bigger valves. But you can put 351 valves into 302 with some machining. J&Fs. Well, J&Fs. And then there was C9OE and C9TE or something like that. Maybe C9AE and TE. The T was the big one. The T meant truck on the prefix of it. Off the top of my head, I'd have to look in my book. 230,000 mile motor, did everything with pistons and reboard, $1,000 budget. That's that Silverado you're working on, wasn't it, John or Mike? Yeah. Any more ASO? Oh, hey, thanks for swinging in. Appreciate it, Joey. That was awesome of you. Thanks for stopping in, man. I appreciate it. I know it's probably getting late over that way. We'll see you on the next run, buddy. March 1st, we have the game show, and then we'll do another one of these lives for sure, unless I do one sooner. Thanks for swinging in. ASO, don't. Here's what I've learned with push rods. And this comes from swapping valve train around, because you're going to run into valve train. It's going to have the lash caps. You're going to have 2-piece, 1-piece retainers. And here's the other staples, camshafts. Some of these camshafts have different size base circles. And I ran into this problem when I was building my brother's 302. I think it was a Crane Crower cam I put in it, had a real small base circle. And of all the push rods I had, nothing worked. I had to order a set of push rods for it because the base circle was so much smaller. Even, I'm trying to remember, I had a whole stack of different push rods. Nothing I had would fit it. I had to get a really long rod for it. But I also used comp roller tip rockers on it. And, what was it? His engine's kind of a Heinz 57. They were torqued down 75 heads that had 351 Windsor valves put into. I remember right. So I just measured the length I needed and tried to find some in my stash. I had none, so I had to order some for his. But just saying certain push rods fit engines anymore, I'll never say that anymore, because there's so much mix in valve train. Your only rare third option. 68 4-barrel heads. Which 4V heads, Bruce? Which ones you talking about? Which engine? The 302, 289, or wouldn't be 289, 460? Yeah, Ford and their damn alphabet codes, man. You got to be on top of them. I'd have to see, man. Those GT40s, boy, I don't know that. I could say the Smash E7, the E7TE head that was the big dog back in the day, set of ported ones. But I don't know to say that they're better than those GT40s. That's a heck of an order, because I'll tell you what, those GT40s, they were impressive heads. That's what Ford should have been putting on all their production stuff. It's that crap they were using. Okay, so 68 4V. Yes, you are correct, Bruce, because I think that was pretty much the last head that they used for a 4-barrel setup. That's right, because in 69 and 70, everything was starting to go 2-barrel. To find a 4-barrel, if you want something 4-barrel, you're getting either the Cleveland or a Windsor. Did they even have a 4-barrel Windsor? I think the only thing they had was the 351 Cleveland. If you wanted something performance, 302 got dogged big time after 68, which was sad, because I think there's a lot of potential in 302. Oh, are you taking off, Dean? Well, hey, man, thanks for swinging in. I super appreciate it. Resident Ford dude. Oh, he's still here. Okay. The heads I like to run are the early, for the small block Ford, I like to run the 66, 65. The heart-shaped ones are like 54cc heads. They have that heart shape to them. Boy, I'll tell you, those heads, when you port them, I think I got a set. The ones that are on my Mustang too have small block Chevy valves in them. So 194, 160s, yeah. And boy, I'll tell you, those heads, they are something else. Fully ported, heart-shaped chambers, those things. It's a runner. It's a runner. If I could keep the damn thing sealed up and not leaking. I think Dean's reminding me that I've got dinner ready. Yeah, they'll get there. It's okay. It's spaghetti. It reheats. If it is ASO, it should be the car heads kind of has that shape to it. Um, the truck head definitely does not. But I mean, both are decent. They're not as bad as the 76 up heads. And I'm trying to remember if the 676 head was really that bad. I know the 77, 8, and 9 ones were terrible. Absolutely terrible. F code 302, 2B truck, and car. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Yeah, those 69 351 heads. No, no, actually, Chris, I was supposed to be in eating dinner right now. I kind of jumped on live while the daughter was making my dinner, so I was gonna have a beer after dinner. I didn't want to get full of drinking and not have room for food. Besides, spaghetti and beer don't mix well if I get them out of order. If I throw beer on top of spaghetti, we're gonna do okay. But I have a few beers in the stomach and throw spaghetti on top. That does never comes out pretty. So, but hey, Chris, maybe tomorrow I'll give you a call, or maybe we'll do Monday. Might be tomorrow though. If you want to get together, we'll go look at that truck. Um, if you think he'll be available tomorrow, I didn't get out to Oregon City today. I ended up, man, that windstorm kicked the hell out of my place. I had a bunch of tarps come loose and had to fix my car tents, and I had fir boughs and freaking pine cones everywhere. So I decided to stay and clean the yard up. I had to get things tarp back up anyways for the rain. So I didn't make it out to Oregon City today. Tomorrow looks better. So if you think he'll be up for it tomorrow. Oh, geez, you lost power? Oh, man. That sucks. Yeah, that was, I'll tell you, it was blowing like a son of a gun all night last night. I mean, I had some huge limbs come out of my trees. Yeah, it was a freaking mess. So I kind of took today to clean the yard up and then work on my shelf over here I'm building. Man, since Friday you've been out of power. Oh, geez. Well, yeah, Friday night it would. You know, my power never flickered here, but dang. Oh, good, you got it back on. You had any damage there? That was a hell of a storm we were getting. I'm missing some of these here, the late 90s. Let's see, Mike. You know the thing with the GT40X, the exhaust ports are different. They raised them, I think, if I remember right. So you got to be real careful. Um, when you use the X heads, you got to be real careful on the headers you use. I think when like your Fox body headers, what like that and whatnot, they come away from the head enough that you don't have to worry about interference issues. And the spark plugs, I think, are changed. The angles of them is changed. So you got to be super careful with what you use header wise on the GT40Xs. But other than that, the X heads are really good performers. 63406. Yes, Bruce. Those are the 63406 heads are great heads if you can actually find some. Any of those early FE heads, the 61, 2s, 3s, that had really good chamber sizes, And they're like a low medium riser. Those are good heads. Found an FMX. Tell me you have something else other than an FMX. I mean, not that FMX is bad. They're just heavy. If you had like a C6, it'd probably be a little bit better. Don't get me wrong. FMX transmissions are good trannies. They're just heavy. Yeah, ASO. ASO knows about the old trees falling on stuff. Jeez, lots of trees down. Yeah. Well, hey, firewood, right? Now it's just on the ground for you. Did it damage anything, Chris? ASO had one fall in his trailer. He's kind of in a little bit of a pickle now. Did a lot of roof damage on his place. Oh, the peas. Okay, you're right. You're right. Yep, the GT40P heads. That's right. I was thinking the X and P. That late model stuff. I'm a little. How many miles am I from Monroe? Monroe's about 3 hours from me, I think, John. I know the Monroe swap meet's coming up. Puyallup, Monroe. I think it's like 2.5, 3 hours. I don't normally go up to that meet. I heard it's really good though, or at least it has been in the past. He's got that lighter AOD though, Dean. The AOD is probably not going to be very strong. If the FMX does that, the FMX is plenty freaking strong. And you want to change the drive line, I guess that pretty much answers the question there. It's just heavy. The FMX is a great transmission. It's essentially the MX and the FX combined into basically the combination of the two put together for a Dynamite 3-speed automatic. It's just heavy. They put them in trucks. There was a 73 Dentside that Dad and I had that had an FMX in it. Smooth, great shift and transmission. I used to have two of them. I had a guy drive from the Oregon coast and came and bought the two FMXs I had. Just power lines. So that's good. Good. As long as it didn't damage any of your stuff or your place. Good freaking trees, man. They can do some. I didn't have any real damage here other than just tarps and stuff getting tore off, and it looks like a freaking fir tree exploded in my backyard. I mean, it's bad, but we'll get her cleaned up. Oh, all right, man. I'll get a hold of you, Chris. Tomorrow or Monday, probably. We'll try and do it tomorrow and get it out of the way if you're available. Appreciate you coming on, man. Swap meet was today. Oh, it was today. Okay. Pretty small. What's up, Unfinished Projects? The project. I've been kind of on a 4-speed kick lately, so I don't know what happened. I was complaining last summer. I couldn't find a 4-speed to save my life. Now all of a sudden I've got 4 of them. They just started popping up. And I did pony up for one, but it was a complete bell, clutch, flywheel, everything there. And it was a big block top loader to boot. So I did kind of pay up for that one, but the others, they were good buys on those. Puyallup is in March. Oh, okay. Oh, wait. So is there 2 of them then? I thought there was an early bird and then there was another one. Because Mike said Puyallup was today. You just gotta get some videos out, ASO, and start cranking some videos out on something and get that freaking YouTube to pay. That should help you out. Mrs. Fraser. There you go. Well, you know what? Being an FMX, they can't. I didn't. Hey, the FMXs I sold them for 150 bucks a piece. One had the cleanest, nicest fluid in it you'd ever seen. I guarantee you that transmission. I never ran either one of them, but I guarantee the one tranny was solid. I sold it for 150 bucks. I basically just sold it core price because I didn't know nothing about it. And it was the case on it was dated 1980, so I'm not sure what it was in, but the fluid was just crystal clean and clear. I mean, it was the cleanest red fluid I'd ever seen in an automatic. Like it was just poured in. I mean, it looked good. The other one, I don't know. It wasn't looking so good. I don't have anything that really runs an FMX, so I was like, just get rid of them. So you think the one today was early bird? I know there's two in Puyallup in the springtime. Monroe is 3 hours from me. Oh, okay. Maybe I've got it all messed up then. If Monroe is 3 hours from you, Mike, I'm like an hour. I'm 2.5 hours, 2 hours from you, I think. So Monroe's a ways up. Monroe's north of Seattle, isn't it? I always get those two confused. We got the Portland one coming up first week in April, first or second week, maybe the second week in April. I'm debating if I want to drag anything to that one or not, or just go spectate, hold a chair down or something. Um, John, full throttle kind of guy. I'm sure he'll be going to it. I might just go and walk around with him or something. And I don't need to be buying anything else. I really don't. I know there's a couple parts I'm still looking for one of my rigs. I have been having a hell of a time trying to find at least any that are worthy running boards for my 50. And I don't want to buy new ones because they're disgustingly expensive. Never trust Kiwi and a Gooseberry. Yeah. The roof is 4K, not counting doing the ceiling and living room. I'm sweating. Yeah, I hear you, brother. Man, that sucks. Got to be something you can do to help that. Yeah, we just had a swap meet. We just had the one in. We have one at the Clark County Fairgrounds here in Vancouver. It was a couple weeks ago, and I heard it wasn't huge, but it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't that great. It's all indoors. I think the timing of that one's just not good because we just got out of crappy weather. It was snowing. Honestly, I didn't even want to go because the weather was terrible. It was freezing freaking cold. Even though everything's inside, I'm just not in the mode. And after Christmas ringing the old wallet real hard, I'd rather go to swap meets like March, April, May, June, right around there. I'm not really in the mood of it this early. It's just too early, I think. Keep the bird up. Mike, yeah, you should come down to the Portland one. I'll be honest with you. Usually the Portland one, I'll do 2 days. It's actually two different meets. The racetrack does one, and then the Expo Center does another. The Expo Center was the OG, the original. I think it's going on. It's getting close to being 60 years. I think it's on 54, 55 right now. I've been going to it off and on for. I haven't been there the last couple of years, but I went back as far as I think as soon as I went there was 85 or 84. My dad used to sell there a lot. That was when I was really small. But now the Portland one at the Expo Center, they go Friday to Sunday, and then they do one at the PIR racetrack, the big road course. And the swap meet there literally goes the entire road course, plus the inside pit area and a portion of the drag strip. So the PIR racetrack one is huge. A lot of walking. 2.5 miles is one circuit. That one there, they do Thursday to Saturday. And I usually do one day at Expo, or at least I used to do one day at Expo, one day at the racetrack. It's freaking huge. Oh, right on, Bryce. Hell yeah, turn them wrenches. I want to hear Morticia rip again. That is awesome. Keep it up, brother. Keep it up. Bryce is turning into a mechanic, man. We're going to make him into something before long. He's fixing all kinds of stuff now. Somewhere's a new truck with your name on it. Dean, I'm running out of space. I'm gonna go look at a truck. It's oh my God, Nerton, the guy that was just on here. It's his neighbor's truck. Sorry, I forget names already. I work with him. The guy I work with, his neighbor's selling a Denside Ford pickup. So he was asking me if I'd be interested in it. Yeah, why not? It's a Denside. So I'm gonna go take a look at it. I don't have a 4-wheel drive, so this one happens to be one. And it's funny. I live up here, but I've never owned a 4-wheel drive. Well, I did. I just didn't keep it long. And all the snow and crap I get around. I've been getting around okay to 2-wheel drive, but now I'm getting old, fat, and lazy, and I just don't want to mess with the old 2-wheel drive and snow crap anymore. So Chris kind of heard that I wanted a 4-wheeler, and he said his neighbor was selling one. We'll take a look at it. Like I need another vehicle, I got to get rid of some stuff. Oh, okay, John. Hey, thanks, man. If they're, I think the running boards 48 to 52, you got to watch the early ones because they have this extra piece of metal that kind of covers a spot in the cab. They only did it 1 year, 48, but I guess I can remove that if I don't want it. If they're nice, if they're not real nice, I don't want anything rusty. I don't want to have to do too much metal work. If they're straight, perfect. I guess I could do a little patch here and there, depending on the price. I got so much stuff to do. I'm trying to pay a little better for better parts and not fart around with too much other stuff. Am I being picky? I'm probably being picky. Sorry. I'm just trying to get things done. I don't mind spending a little if I get a little better product. I'm kind of learning this. But I appreciate that, John. Let's see. Yes, Mike, the racetrack one is huge. But even, I'll be honest with you, it's kind of funny. A lot of the old guys are at the Expo Center. I've found more old stuff at the Expo Center than I have at the racetrack. But I do tend to find better deals at the racetrack. They have some newer stuff. Well, okay, I'll be mixed on the racetrack. You find better deals if you go back like the second or third day because these guys are camping there. They can have somewhere to hide. If you go to the Expo Center, they don't allow you to camp there. They're huddled up in their parking spots. They're trying to make their $90 a space back. So they're willing to deal with you a little bit. And a lot of the older guys are at the Expo side. Then there's some vendors and stuff over there too, because they have the buildings as well at the Expo where there's no buildings. Everything is outdoors at the racetrack. But they allow you to bring a trailer and stay overnight in your stall if you have room for it. So there's perks to either side. But I've found deals on both of them. But I've definitely found older stuff at the Expo. I was for like 50s, 40s, 30s, stuff like that. Definitely at the Expo. Not so much at the racetrack. It depends on what you're looking for. Let's see. Dean. Bricks. He's throwing bricks at it. Yes. Well, Bryce, it's not that it stays running. It's old. Everything wears out, man, and you're just chasing all the old broken stuff. Eventually, there'll come a time where the truck will stop. Morticia's going to keep bugging you, but Frankie won't. Frankie's gonna have so much new and repaired stuff on it. You won't have to touch it nearly as much. Besides, what else you got to do anyways? I want to go down to the peel up meat. Yeah, one of these years I may go. I really don't. To make the trek, I'd have to have somewhere to stay because I don't want to. I don't want to go up there. Well, it's like I'm thinking probably 3 hours to get to. I know it's 3 hours to Puyallup from here. I don't want to have to drive back after the meet. I'm going to be so freaking tired. At some point in time, maybe I'll get a play or get somewhere to stay up there and then go to it. I know one of the guys here. He knows somebody. He goes up there. He's got a stall. He parks his truck in it, throws some crap in the tailgate, walks around and cheats everyone out of their stuff, and then he comes back here. But I think he's staying at somebody's house. You got a, let's see, dual bolt pattern GM 400 core race. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen one of them. Got a free car off the tube. You did? What'd you get, ASO? 80 Mustang hatch V8. Guess where it's at? Monroe, Washington. Oh. And, if I had a camper to park there, I probably might take you up on that. But I don't own a camper. That's one less thing I really want to deal with, too. They are definitely in maintenance. Mustang. Where's it at, ASO? Minnesota. Well, you know why it's free? There's probably not much left of it. If it's in Minnesota. Oh, boy. Yeah, that might be a little bit rusty. Maybe. Hey, I might be wrong. It could be a garage queen. Who knows? Have you seen it? It's clean? From Minnesota? Come on. Pictures or you're lying? Huh. But hey, a free car is a free car, man. You'll probably have to wait another month or so till the ground or the snow. Well, I don't know. Is there much snow there right now? Because man, the weather's been really weird in some places. I heard some areas of Canada, the snow's all basically melted off. I know here we only got a kind of a small blast that week we had. But it's also snowed here in March and April, so I don't know if we're out of the woodworks yet. The ground rat said we only had 6 more weeks of winter, but they could be lying. Oh, yeah. I can see where the tree thing caused a little bit of an issue there. Man, there's got to be some way to rectify your little situation with the roof. It's missing 47 cubes. Foster, what's up, man? Oh, Foster. You staying out of trouble? Making sure to give 615 some shit, I hope. 80 to 80. So you want a Fox Body Mustang again, huh? That's another car that I've never actually owned. I've worked on a couple. A buddy of mine had a 4-eyed one. 84, 85, 84. And he had a 351 Windsor in it with a T5. We used to take that out and Streetlight, that thing. And this was when I was living in Albuquerque. That was a fun car. That was a sleeper to an extent. It was a piece of shit's what it was. And everyone thought it wouldn't run because it was such a pile. But it was quick. Man, it was quick. 255 cubes of love, 8 inches short. 255. Yeah, I don't know what the hell Ford was thinking with that one. That was another one of their better ideas. Good, Foster. That's good. You give him all this shit. He needs it. Snow and shit. Two things he needs the most. I'm a little more partial. I think if I were to get a Fox, I'd probably go. I mean, not that I don't like the four-eyed ones, but I kind of like the 87 to 90. What was 87 to 92? Maybe it was 90. 87 to 89. I have to look. Yeah, I want a GT hatch is what I would want. Or I'm sorry, LX hatch. LX hatch. That's kind of the body I like. No, I didn't care for the ground effects on the GT. Yeah, the 3.3 liter. Ay, ay, ay. Here's the thing, ASO. Just because it's rare don't mean it's worth anything. And that's the truth. Um, you know, I could take a shit, put it in a jar, and call it rare because it's one of a kind. It doesn't mean it's worth anything. You know, it's only worth what someone's willing to pay. Now, I'll bet that 80 T-Bird is definitely in good shape. But again, it's never going to bring the kind of money in its original form. So you might as well have a little fun with it. You might as well soup it up. Do it in such a way where it you know, where it actually adds value to it, you know. Those big block Ford. Oh, I remember those headers, Mike. That's right. Did you send me a picture of those? I know you offered a set to me, just haven't hooked up yet. Um, that's okay. You know, price is right. I'm not going to complain. They'll fit something. I'll find them to fit something. For bad ideas, but nothing better than an idea of a toy. Well, you know, I think Ford won up that one, Dean, because I'm pretty sure the Mustang 2 was a hell of a lot slower than that. I ran my V6 Cobra car down the track, and I'm pretty sure it turned a 26-second quarter mile. It was bad. Real bad. Or was it that bad? Maybe it wasn't that bad, but it was bad. But I don't care what you say. It was really bad. All right, yeah, we'll get together at some point. Maybe if you get the opportunity and you want to come down to the Portland meet, we can work something out too. You can crash in the couch here or something. Hell, you come down. I know John will want to meet you. I mean, he's all about this stuff. He likes meeting all the YouTuber guys. I'm surprised he's not on tonight. Hopefully he puts the video out soon. John just scored a hell of an engine. He picked up a 390 for his Galaxy he's got. $500. Yeah, supposed to be a good runner. Has some issues, but easily fixed. T-Bird 40. Well, I know. I mean, the thing of it is, it's still an 80 T-Bird. They're ugly as sin. You know, you knock the ugly off of it and make it cool, but you're taking the originality out of it. I think that's the only way it's going to be worth any money. You know, hey, I'm all about low mile cars and preserving them, but then again, you got to find a buyer. Swap me one. $750, really? That's nuts. Check this out, Mike. 550, or he paid $500 for it, and he proceeds to tell me about it. Which, long story short, I don't want. If he hopefully he puts a video out about it. My machinist buddy I've been friends with for decades. He actually built the engine, so I know whatever he did to it was good. Plus, he proceeds to tell me it's got adjustable rockers and the cup push rods and everything on. I'm like, John, $500 all day long just for the rocker assemblies and push rods. Dude, you scored big time. Big time. And of course, the rest of the engine, he says, still has crosshatch in it. And the engine is super, super, super clean. Yeah, he got a hell of a deal, which I'm happy for him. You know, he's been looking for an engine for his Galaxy for a little while now. So that's awesome. He scored that. Of course, he come up here to Vancouver and snaked it out of my backyard. But good, I'm glad. I can't remember the gentleman's name he bought it from. I remember it's a familiar name, but I don't think I've met the guy. But or maybe I have, because I've definitely, the name's familiar. But anyways, he got a hell of a deal on it. I'm glad he found it. '69 Mustang or '69 Camaro. Well, shit. How could you afford one of those things? They're insane money too. Those '69 Camaros. That's right, Dean. Oh, the grill was new old stock. Well, you know, there's those guys that got to have the new old stock stuff. What can I say? 390s are hard to find now. Well, yeah. 390s are really getting hard to find. And I'm finding that out because it used to be any number of trucks you'd find one in it, but now you're not seeing as many trucks anymore. Now decent 390 cores are 500 up, you know, if you can find one. Seriously, a 350 Chevy blocks $500 now? Yeah, John, that'd be pretty awesome if we all could. Well, I know John, other John, Full Throttle John. I'm pretty sure he would like to do a big get together at some point somewhere. He lives in Beaverton, Oregon. It's just getting everyone together. At the swap meet would be cool. I don't know if you ever come down to the Portland one. My biggest thing is time off and shuffling schedules. And my daughter is actually going to be doing softball starting next month. So that's what I mean. I'm not really 100% sure on my time availability. I'm trying to push things around now to make sure I do the Portland one, or at least show up. Last year I went to go and my little cart that I pull around just disintegrated on me, and I got a late start and everything went to shit. And I called John up. I says, "Dude, I'm not coming. So I didn't go last year. So I'm gonna try and make a circuit this year. I bought a new wagon. So because you got to have a little wagon to pull around these places because it's a lot of walking. And I don't want to go back to the stall and try to find it again if I leave it. Yeah, if we all got together, that'd be cool. I know the Roadster show is coming up too here, 17th, 18th, 19th of March, I think, something like that. That's another one. I only go to that one every couple, 2-3 years because it ends up being the same cars. So I'm hoping they've got some different cars this time. Anyone changing over to, however, yeah, everyone is going to LS. Not me. I don't know, you know. Of course, the thing too in the Ford world is to go Coyote. I just don't like the sound of those flat plane V8s. I don't like them. They sound like crap. And by physics standings, flat plane engines make more power. I'm not chasing power, man. I want to go into a car show sounding cool. I'm just, yeah. As far as I'm concerned, you do the right things to small block Chevy or small block Ford Windsor or anything like that. They're just as dependable. I mean, I used to daily a 460 Ford, same technology. There's a secret to putting the right gaskets and gasket goo on it so it ain't leaking everywhere. But if it ain't leaking, it's out of oil. Well, I'll tell you what, if you can afford the gate fee, so it's usually always worth going. You never know what you find, or a lot of times I like to get new connections or run into guys that have parts. I bring a notepad and pen and everything with me, and I'll get guys' phone numbers and I'll go see them after the swap meet. There are a lot of guys that'll have stuff, but they just don't bring everything to the meets. I know when I sold a few times, I realized that I brought a lot of stuff I shouldn't have, and I didn't bring the stuff I should have. But you never know the crowd. It's been a while since I sold it one. My dad used to be my partner, and he just couldn't do it anymore. And then it got to the point where he couldn't walk much anymore. So, and his pride wouldn't allow him to. I always wanted him to get one of them little rascal scooters so I could hook a trailer to it. And his pride wouldn't allow that to happen. He just said, if I ain't walking and I ain't doing it. I said, well, come on, Dad. You can tow my little trailer around then. Nope. Couldn't get him to do it. Oh, well. I think that was a lot of the reason why I took breaks is because it was something him and I used to do, and I just couldn't get to going back to him anymore. I'll change my ways. It just takes time to adjust. I hear though, ASO, if you're not really looking for anything super specific, if you go on the last day of the meet is when you get the real deals. And I'll vouch for that because when I sold, I was practically giving shit away on Sunday. I didn't want to bring it back, take it out of here. So yeah, I was one of those guys that was making smoking deals on Sunday. Smoking deal Sunday. Call it that. I'm surprised you don't already got one. What was that, Chaz? Hey, Chaz, by the way. Nice to see you, brother. I'm surprised you don't got one already. Which one's that? Oh, Mike saying, oh, I'll tell you what, Chaz. I'm going to end up in one before long if I don't start losing some of this and getting my back in better shape. Good Lord. Man. I don't know if they put something in me in the service or whatever, but when I got out, this thing just started growing rapidly. But there's some perks to having that scooter, too. I should get one. Think the VA would buy me one? You know what, ASO? Well, I'll be honest with you here. I was actually in really good shape when I met my last girlfriend. I was actually pretty slim. I'd been working out and everything. When I met her, she was a cook. Let me tell you, that woman could cook. And this thing was starting. That's when it started its growth. Was when I was with her. And single life, I just eat like crap. But the initial growth right here was all on her. Mike, round is shape. Round is a shape, thankfully. No, my problem is I don't eat when I'm supposed to. I eat late. I eat garbage. and I don't sleep, and that's not helping nothing at all. That's it, ASO. That's it. Yep. Well, I think that was her excuse too when we were together. Was she she didn't want them chasing me, so she figured she'd fatten me up. My no, Dean, my body's a trash can, and I keep throwing garbage in it. That's it. Shut up, Tony. That's when it started. Yes, that's when it started. I was actually in half decent shape after I got divorced. I've known Tony since high school, so he thinks he knows everything. He's just forgetting that he's getting old and not remembering too well. Fat man. Well, it puts the lotion on its skin, Chaz. Just make sure she ain't looking at you with a tape measure to size you up for a coat. I see that sea cab if I look. Yeah, well, it's back there somewhere. I'm working on stuff over here. You'll eventually see the sea cab. Deep. Back in the day. You dig up those back in the day pictures. I certainly am not freaking as fat as I am now. Matter of fact, I was quite lean and mean in the military. That's only because they ran the shit out of us and didn't feed us. Even in the old chair force, see, that was in pretty good shape. I think that's how it works, ASO. We just seem to keep going that direction. I'm in the same boat. I don't move nearly as well. A lot of groans, aches, and pains every time I get up or get off this cold concrete. I'll tell you what, though, I didn't pay hardly anything for this lift, but I bought it for scrap essentially. That is part of what made this thing grow too. Because man, I standing up underneath that lift has been a blessing in disguise. And it's a dangerous piece of crap. Don't get me wrong. There's a reason why they were scrapping it. But I'll tell you what, it's definitely kept the old man from getting too much older too quick. That has been nice to have. You can get your chance to get one. Get one. Well, of course, for fun here, we obviously looking at this, no one wants it. I've got to work on my personality because my looks is not going to get me anywhere. It's got to be all personality now. I mean, I don't even want this. I get up and look at this in the morning in the mirror. I'm like, oh God, no. I mean, really, I wouldn't even do this. So I have to work on my personality. Yeah, they're trying to save money on us at medical and at the chow hall. Yeah, that's right. uh, you can also, oh, my name tag, HMFIC. You know what that is? I'm the HMFIC around here. Oh, shoot. Wait till you get my age. I may not be far behind you, Bruce. It depends on how much you got up on me. However, I guarantee you will always be wiser than I. Age and experience do seem to keep track with each other. Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, you're a couple years younger than my dad would be. So you got that right. But I'll tell you what, wisdom. You definitely have the wisdom I do not. I'm 40. I just turned 45, even though I look like I'm probably 55. I feel like I'm 65. Manual labor and not resting and beating my body to crap is definitely something you don't want to do. Kids, listen. I'm worried I was in better shape when I worked. Yeah, yeah. I see that, Chaz. It's yep. When I got out, I was still working on the flight line, so there was still long walks, and I was in good shape. I'm sure if I stayed in the full run, I would have been probably in the same boat. Dang, now I hope for sure. 50. Well, you're not that far ahead of me. You got 6 years, almost 6 years on me. Suffering. Yeah. Well, you're still wise though, Bruce. That's all there is to it. You've been there, seen it, done it. You can tell the rest of us. You can still yell at us when we're, you know, what we should or shouldn't be doing. Well, here's one thing I learned, Chaz. When you start getting equipment like this, all of a sudden you get new friends coming out of the woodworks. Oh, hey, you got a lift? Can I borrow it? Can I put my truck on it? Can I do this? Can I do a brake job? Y'all don't know me. I can't even get my own crap done. No, you're not putting shit on my lift. uh, 47. Yeah, so you're a couple years older than me. I don't know. It's like you just hit this anytime over 40 and things just start hurting. It didn't used to hurt. It's just all these aches and pains. It's like, what is this? And then your energy's gone. I get up. I'm not an early morning riser anyways, and it's like it's an effort to get the hell out of bed when I don't have to. Yeah, I might have been riding bikes in my diaper though. So that's the difference. The most popular guy in the town has a trailer. Yes. And you know what's funny? Well, the trailer's technically my mom's, is my dad's, but I'm about the only guy that pulls with it. So I have both in a way. I'm putting money in the trailer, so it might as well be mine. That's still my mom's. But you're right. And tools and tire machine. If you have any of that stuff, you get new friends, I'm telling you. Yeah, ASO is one of those guys that drive one of them freaking fruity three-wheeled trikes with they're backwards trikes, what I call them, with a wider stance up front. Yeah. It starts at 35. It can. It can. Yeah, there you go. Hey, X-ray Dean. And that's right. And the problem is most of us still won't listen, but you're not wrong. Dean, you got competition. There's another Dean in the chat. Oh, I didn't shoot, John. You're not. Yeah, you're only a couple years older than me too. I'll be dang. You look younger though for some weird reason. I wouldn't have thought you were 47, John. Can-Am. Yeah. Can-Am? No. Well, it was funny. My dad, he rode Harleys too. And his buddy Dennis was a Harley rider as well. Well, Dennis got to the point where he's having a hard time walking. So Dennis got rid of his, I think he had a road glide or something. He went and got that tri glide. So funny. My dad wouldn't get rid of his electric glide for nothing. He was not ever going to, if he couldn't ride the bike, he'd get rid of bikes. Well, his buddy Dennis got that tri glide. And he goes, I hate when he rides that motherfucker. It's like riding with a guy that has a wheelchair. He says, so what do you do with him? He goes, I leave that fucker in the dust. I don't ever keep, he's got to try and keep up with me. I ain't riding with no guy that rides with a trike. So his buddy Dennis, I can only imagine what it was like when they went on rides. Jeez. But you know, a trike still makes it so a guy can ride that has a hard time with a regular bike. I get it, but yeah. I never rode a road bike. Oh shoot, Mike, you're 46. We're about the same age then. A few of us. That's cool. Yeah, I never rode. I rode dirt bikes. I never rode a street bike. I've only rode dirt bikes. Kind of wished I'd gotten into the street bikes. Dad, he left his Harley behind, and I've got it running a couple times. Never had the nuts to go out and try and ride it. I rode up down the driveway a little bit. I'm a big sissy. I need to just tear the Band-Aid off and do it. I knew you'd understand, Chaz. I could just picture it because the old man was like, I can't believe that fucker bought a trike. I ain't riding with no one with a damn trike. And what's funny is he rode in the generation that had the chopper trikes, which those are kind of cool, you know. But even then, he never said anything popular about them because I think another buddy of his had one of those. And yeah, but when Dennis went and got that tri glide, he's I ain't riding with that motherfucker. Yeah, it was kind of funny. Dennis had a 29 Model A I did some work on. Another gal here in town painted it for him. He's a pretty unique dude. He was definitely different. Stubborn old guy. That whole generation are a bunch of good dudes, though. I'll tell you, it's gonna be sad when when most of them are gone. Definitely a unique generation. I think I was more friends with those guys growing up as a kid, my dad's generation, than my own. I don't know. I just seemed like I got along better with them, and a lot of his friends I called my friends. And there's a couple guys around here that are still kicking around. I got to go visit, see how they're doing. But they're like national treasures. I guess I don't like calling them boomers. I think it's an insult. I don't know if they look at it as an insult or not. But I don't call them boomers. Oh, jeez, ASO. Yeah, see, you understand. It's just something about that generation. I just got along with those guys. Plus, I was a little jealous. I don't know. I'm not sure, Bruce, what stuff you're into or what car stuff, or if you're into car stuff at all or whatever. Um, their generation, as far as I'm concerned, was the best car generation ever. I mean, to grow up in the 60s and then the 70s, I thought was the pinnacle of cars. The aftermarket was in full swing. I love the 70s style, which most people like the 50s and 60s. I happen to love the 70s. I mean, slot mag the world, as far as I'm concerned. Slot mags on everything. You know, crushed velour interior. Those are the Vannon days. The mini truck was born. Street rods were the thing. Everybody had a street rod in the 70s. Growing up as a kid, everybody's dad had some kind of cool car. And a lot of them were street rods, and that was just the way it was. I'm jealous of that era. That's if I die and there was a chance for me to pick a generation to go back to, that would be the one. Yep. Just those guys had it, man. That was like the era. And now look at what we have. Ugh. But I don't know if you've noticed the way, of course, I've only got a couple cars featured on the channel now, but you'll see as I go through the cars and I start putting some of this crap together, most of my rigs look like they're out of a 70s magazine. That's what I like. 80s, 80s stuff was kind of cool, but that was those years where they were painting all the chrome, and I really wasn't into that. Some of the stripe work was all right. They got into the Easter egg colors, which I really wasn't that into. And I could tell it was the tail end of that generation because my dad's last street rod he had was like a powder blue, and I'm just no. His 33 Plymouth was a much more beautiful car to me, and it was a color called claret red. Beautiful car. It was a street rod too, and he built it that way. It had an 80s flair to it. I think the wheels on it was the only thing that made it look like it was 80s, but he built that one in 84 to 86, I think. It took him a few years to build it. My man's first car was a 58 Chevy. I've heard that same story, Chaz. Yep, my dad kind of told me the same thing. That was the funny thing. My grandfather, his dad, was a horrible mechanic. Couldn't fix nothing to save his life. Was a better woodworker. My grandfather was a very good woodworker. And he was a very meticulous person. He was a farter arounder. He built all kinds of gadgets and storage things. And he was one of these guys, all he needed was a 2-car garage and a couple pieces. Well, ironically, that table saw back there, which is right there, back to the door, that's his table saw. That's my grandfather's table saw. And he built the enclosure around it. And my grandfather was a woodworker. He was terrible with metal. My dad, on the other hand, was excellent with metal and couldn't burn a birdhouse to save his ass. He was terrible with wood. If it was a flat piece and he had to stain it, he was fine. But if it come to constructing anything out of wood, forget it. My dad got into cars because he had bought a shoebox Ford for like $40 or something, right? And I think he was like 15 or something like that. He could never get this car to run. It pissed him off to the point where he went to an all-boys school, which ended up being Automotive Polytechnical High School. So he went to this high school just to learn how to work on cars and get this damn shoebox. He never did end up getting it run. He sold to his brother or something. And he ended up buying a 57 Chevy, I think was the first running car he had. Hi, Joey. Oh, yeah, I'm still here. My dinner's probably getting cold, too. I know, 2 hours, too, now, huh? Um, but yeah, it was so funny. What got my dad into cars is the fact that he could not get a car running. That's what started it all. Yeah. Yep. 58 Chevy Biscayne. Yeah, that's a neat car too, though. They had style. I'll give it that. But it was so funny. My dad was a staunch Ford guy, but he actually started life out in Chevrolets. For whatever, well, part of it was he worked for Frank Chevrolet in Portland. If anyone's familiar with the area, in high school, that's where he worked. So basically, he was buying used '57 Chevys for pennies on the dollar, racing them, wrecking them, trashing them. I think he said he must have folded up 3 or 4 of those cars and threw them away and went and bought another one. So it was disgusting how cheap you were getting those cars back then. And then he ended up working for, oh, I don't remember what name. It was a Ford dealer he moved to. And he was, what was he doing? He had the opportunity to pick up a real 66 Cobra from the docks in Portland and bring it to the dealership. And ever since then, he said he always wanted to own one. And he never did get a chance to buy, and even a kit car he would have settled with, but he never did get one. But he got to drive a real 427 Cobra from the docks to the dealership. He said, man, ever since he drove that, he always wanted one. But I know he started out in a Chevy dealership. And then, I don't know, he became a Ford guy for some weird reason. He did own GMs over the years, though. He had Buick convertible. He's had a few Chevy. Oh, he had a short, wide Chevy pickup, square body. He had a few Chevys. As far as I got work free. Well, yeah, I mean, shoot, back then, so I mean, even if it was free, it was close to free. I mean, they weren't getting nothing for that stuff. Oh, couldn't fix anything. Yep, yep, exactly. Chaz sounds the exact same story. Well, my old man, he taught me how to do wire. I wired my shop. He's the one that taught me that. He did wiring. Just wood. He couldn't do anything. Drywall and wood were like his Achilles heels. Anything with metal he could fix, no problem. Guy was an awesome fabricator. Well, where I worked, he was the head fabricator. I mean, that's all he did all day long was build fixtures, build uh, equipment chassis, anything they needed at work. He built it, and he was the fab shop. That's freaking cool. It's funny how that works out too, though, right? Because your dad and your grandfather are so opposites. Yeah, the old Cadillac converter craze. My two brothers. Wow. Well, that's what you did, though. I mean, you went and worked your butt off and you went and collected this stuff. I mean, I did that for a while too. Just did the hustle and started collecting things. I don't know much about bikes. I'm not a huge bike guy, but some of those old Suzukis and whatnot, those are worth some coin now. Did you end up hanging on to all those bikes? That's funny. I've only got one brother, and he's got a car, but he's not. I mean, he's got a 70 or 69 and a half Maverick. Um, Matter of fact, my backing plate video where I fixed the backing plates, that was his. He was putting the brakes on his Maverick, and I was fixing his backing plates for him. he knows about, he can do work to the car. He's just not into them like I am. I don't know why he just never got into them. It's kind of weird. But he was into sports, which my dad was heavy in sports and he was heavy in cars. So it was kind of cool. Him and my brother did the sport thing, and they did it all the way through high school. I played baseball up to about I got my driver's license, and I was like, piss on all that. I'm playing with my cars. So I would say the majors, probably about 14 or so, and then I switched into cars real heavy. And then him and my dad did sports all the way through. So I mean, he got both. My dad got the both worlds, and I got him for cars. And my brother got him for sports, and now we ain't got him. But my brother and we still. I mean, I see him on holidays and birthdays. So birthdays, even though he lives right across from my mom, I don't really see him too often. But when he needs, like, I rebuilt his carburetor. I think one of the lives I had the carburetor over here. I rebuilt his carb for him. I got a matter of fact, I got to get over there and tune or set it up for him too. I forgot about that. Oops. Was in scalping trade. Oh, jeez. My dad had a mechanic shop in Bellevue called Leo and Sons. I worked there. Started when I was. Oh, that's awesome. See, that's cool, John. Oh, you just need to hang on to the bikes. Okay. Yeah, some of that old stuff, Bruce. I'm sure back then was like, this will never be worth nothing. It is nuts what some of that stuff is worth now. There's a guy over in Portland that's got a whole bunch of Hondas, Suzukis, and Yamahas. Old, like probably early 80s, mid 80s stuff. Some of the dirt bikes that I rode around on, and it is unreal what some of that stuff is actually going for now. A lot of collectors love it. I would have known. I had a YZ80, YZ50, and a KX125. And that was pretty much the end of my riding. I rode a buddy's KX250 when I was in the military. Rode it a little bit. Ooh, 71 big block vet. Those are the vets that you either love or hate. I think they're cool. I like them. I like the style. Oh, okay. So Joey has been on a couple of times. Okay. Matter of fact, was he wasn't on the last one when you picked up the Merc, was it? Was he? Was he the one? Was that him? Pissed them off and they would scalp you. I gotcha. No, that was my. Oh, okay, it was Jay. I know you're Joey, and you're still here. You ain't got that bed done yet. 41. Oh, Dean, buddy, those are beautiful cars. Not many people like the 41. I, for one, love the front end of a 41. That is, and you got the short door business coupe. Man, I've got a 47 long door. Of course, nobody's seen that either. And then, of course, my dad's got a 48 long door, standard coupes. Well, his is a deluxe, whatever. Mine was was a 6-cylinder standard, but it's got a Mustang 2 front in it. Bryce is not 53. He's younger than I am. He's a pup. My best car was a 71 Boss 351, where 71 Torino was the fastest. Yes. Bruce, I don't know if you missed it. My dad had a 70 Torino Cobra. Those are awesome cars. That's another one of my bucket list cars. I've never owned a Torino. I'd love to have a 70, maybe even a 71 because they're real close. Those are awesome. 71 Boss 251. Yes, those are great. Okay. Okay. All right. I might not have caught videos with him in it then. You got to get your roof fixed first, ASO. Then you worry about collecting your old man's car up. Your internet keeps crashing. It's because you whooped Nexies. I'm eating. I ate part of your connection, Joey. That's the problem. It's trying to send a signal from this side to that side. It's not getting through. It's got to go around it, weakening the signal. Joey's 73. Is that what he said? Looks like a 7, not a 5. That'd be about right. X-Ray dude's got it going, man. I'm telling you. Of course, he's another dean. You deans seem to be pretty smart fellers. I'll tell you. If anyone wants to see some square body stuff, go check out what Joey's got going on. He's doing a square body pickup right now. If he'd ever get the damn bed done. Anyone under 50. I ain't calling you. I'm going to call you an old fart if you want me to call you anything, ASO. You're part of the AARP club, or soon to be. Oh, Joey, making excuses. Tie a rope around your neck and put a hook on the end of it. There's your temporary second. How's that? I don't know. You do pretty damn good, man, for being one arm down. My luck, I'd lose my right one and I wouldn't be able to wipe my ass. I'd just fucking put a hole in my head. That's my luck. My left-handed. The only thing this fucking thing does is hang here to make me look normal. This thing gets in the way 90% of the time. I really don't use it for nothing. I can't do anything with it. See, I got overspray and stuff on it. It's just in the way. You know, it really doesn't do me any good, anyways. That was one way to lose weight, though, right, Joey? Yeah, I just get it off. Yeah, now I'm lighter. You can brag about being lighter. Meanwhile, I'm cresting 300, and I'm like, maybe I need to lose a limb or two. I'll tell you, my left arm is worthless. This thing runs into door jams. I get it caught in the freaking ladder. Half the time, it's the one that gets chipped up when I'm using the angle grinder. It's stupid thing's always in my way. My go-go gasket, man. Yeah, it might work for that once in a while. Joey, Jesus. You're walking around like this. Oh, hell. Well, I got to lean into the wind now because if I try standing up straight, I'll just fall forward. So I got to lean back everywhere I go with this freaking thing. So I look like I'm going fast, lean back everywhere I walk so I don't fall forward. Of course, Dean, of course. Hey, 615, what's up, brother? If Foster go give you a hard time or something, because Foster, he might still be in here. He's in here. Just did me a little impromptu live. I was only doing this until dinner was ready, and I think dinner's now turned into an ice cube. I've been busy, period. I mean, I thought about going live yesterday and I was just swamped with stuff. I think you guys occasionally throw it up on Saturday now. I don't I don't know why it doesn't. You know what's been doing? It even did it to Bryce's live. I know Bryce is belled just like yours is. The damn thing sends me the notification like 3 hours later. And I'm like, what the hell? So half the time when I see you guys up on, I know sometimes you've been up on a Friday and Saturday. Sundays, I'm just, well, this Sunday, because I'm off Monday, I'd probably be able to make your regular Sunday. But yeah, the freaking thing doesn't send me a damn notification until like you guys are done. Because even Bryce's, I didn't get a notification for Bryce's live. And you know how that goes. I think I got a notification on his live 45 minutes after he stopped it. His live was like, what, 2.5 hours? Freaking YouTube is stupid. But I haven't been intentionally ignoring you. Trust me, I got to get in and say hi to y'all, you and Woody and Hog Shooter and you guys. I did watch a few of Hog Shooter's videos the other day too, because I'm way behind. I'm way behind on everybody's stuff. I've been trying to reorganize this shit pile dumpster freaking fire I got going on in here. Oh, whatever. Shut up. Wouldn't want to hang out with the bad crowd. Shut your mouth. I haven't been hanging out with anybody. I got Bryce needling me to do the game show, and that's about the only thing I commit to. This live here tonight was just an impromptu thing while I was having the daughter make dinner. And it's now, I think, an ice cube. Because she came out here, what, 40 minutes ago? And told me it was ready. Oops. Oh, well. Spaghetti reheats. Yeah, see, and I mean, of course, I didn't announce this live because I don't. I just, I just say hell with it. I was actually waiting for the paint to dry on the shelf over here, so I thought, yeah, we'll see if someone's live's on. Nobody was on. It was really strange, so I thought, well, I'll start one until dinner's ready. And here we are. You would. You know what? Screw you. Enjoy your snow. It's funny, it ain't snowing here, but it is in Tennessee. Wait for snowpocalypse to show up. It's coming. I don't know why you guys are all of a sudden getting the world's shittiest weather. It's crazy. You have to ask your wife. Well, okay, ASO, trust me. My daughter doesn't cook. I mean, I try to needle her into doing it. Basically, I don't do it. And then she gets hungry and she'll wander in there. Sometimes she'll just cook for herself, which drives me nuts. and then leaves all the damn dishes in there. Lately, because the last couple sessions, I've been giving her hell about it. She's been making a meal here and there. But like last night, I wanted some meat, so I made some cube steaks, which people like cube steak. Sorry, I like cube steak. But yeah, I can't get her to cook for nothing. And a lot of it, she'll be like, "Well, I'm not hungry," or "Well, it ain't about you. That's how you help pay your way in underneath this roof." Teenagers, millennials. Dean's full of shit. Don't listen to him. He just subbed you yesterday. Nope, 615 is one of the guys that got me into this mess. And they drugged me onto their live, and well, that's kind of where it all started. Him, Woody, and old Robert's Garage. I'd seen a little bit of him post and stuff. I ain't seen him in a while. I'll make sure to float in tomorrow night if you're doing or not tomorrow, Sunday. You doing a Sunday show? I should be able to make that one. I don't have to work Monday. So all of you that don't do or don't know, 615 does do a live on Sunday evenings. I think you're still doing them anyways, right? So be sure to check him out. Him, Woody, and I think Hog Shooter, Old Mechanic. I know I'm missing people. You've got some guys that float in or out. You can't influence 615 that bad. He's already got the drinking thing down. So you ain't running him to drink. He's already there. He's got a bunch of stuff going on in his lives, Chaz. He's always got some. Always he'll have a different guest on every once in a while. He does some real funny videos and stuff. It freaking that Canadian song. Oh my god, that thing cracks me up. You can play that a million freaking times. I love it. And then I think he plays one that's zip ties and bias flies. That's a good one. He's got some fun lives. I'm just on my Sundays. It's like death to the world because I have to go to work on Monday and I have my little happy homeowner house chores to do because I don't have a wife around to do that. So I'm just, yeah. Sundays suck. It's a realization to work on Monday. Well, that's cool, ASO. I mean, I wasn't one to get on the live thing. 615 and those guys kind of coaxed me on, and I'm not gonna say what I want to say, but Joey, you need to really shut your mouth. I want to. Oh, what? My sponsored by Summit. Well, I'll catch you on your next one, 615. I'll swing in and say hi. Yeah, me too. I'm up at 5:15, Chaz. That's why then I got to get my ass in the bed, get my lunches ready and all that shit because I don't want to do it during the week and laundry and everything. It sucks. Now I can do it on Monday this week, so it's not so bad. But yeah, 5 comes real early, and I'm not a morning person, not at all, not by any stretch. Am I sponsored by Summit? No, but I bought their China-made garbage. I It looked kind of cool in the book, I thought, all right, how Chinese shit is. They always blow it up and make it look better. But when I got it, I'm like, oh, it's not really padded that well. So I don't know. It works. I wanted a kind of a shop stool for out here, but doesn't really. I don't know. Doesn't really fit the bill. I'm about to hit some garage sales and find a nice old 70s or 80s bar stool type chair. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. I didn't know you and Joey had something going on. Whatever. Settle it, boys. Don't know, don't care on my channel. Didn't know. Oh, I'm getting a report now. High winds. I thought we were done with this high wind shit. Great. Yeah, I was a little. I mean, Chaz, you seen it. It looked like it would have been a halfway decent freaking stool. I'm kind of pissed. If I lean back too far or too hard with this thing, it's probably going to break the back off. Kind of pissed about that. So I don't know. It was a Christmas present, but I feel kind of bad pointing it out that I wanted it because it wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. Can't we all just get along? Jeez, we're all car guys. Shit. Bury the hatchet. Solve this shit. We all gotta get along. I think, speaking of FOMO codeine, I think they make a Ford one too, and it's probably just as cheap and shitty as this one is. Good thing I didn't pay extra for the logo. Yeah. Like, I might have to do some yard sailing. My mom's got really nice wooden ones they have at her counter. And that's the kind of ones I want to find. Nice big deep ones they can sit lean back in. It's 70s and 80s shit, man. Back to when they used to make stuff. That's what I need to find, is some nice good knee old used ones. No, fuck no, ain't no one sponsoring me. Ain't that dumb. Yeah, first off, you gotta have, if they're gonna sponsor anyone, they're gonna sponsor somebody that puts out videos. I haven't put out nothing in forever. No, I just the Summit one, Joey, of all of them, the Summit one was the cheap ones. I think the other ones that had like the Ford, GM, and logos and stuff on there, they wanted more for them. And my mom got it for me for Christmas. She was poking at me what I wanted. And I was happy to be in the Summit wish list book or whatever. I said, hey, that looks like a cool tool. If you want to buy me something, buy me that. Here's the cheap one. And again, China made shit. So whatever. But yeah, just to have the Ford logo on it, which is probably the one I would have chose, it was like another 50, $60. And blow me, Ford. I'm not paying for that. For cleaning out your bank account. Well, at least they gave you some clothes to wear as you walk back to the bank broke. I got the Mr. Horsepower one without the back. That one ain't bad. Is it got padding in it, Chaz? Because this one here has got a little bit, but man, my bony ass don't really like it as much. You know what's funny? Chaz might recognize this because I know this is Navy issue shit right here from back in the day. I've had this raggedy asshole thing out here forever. That's got more padding than that chair does. That's what's sad. And this thing's probably about as old as I am, if not older. I took your shirts you had to cover up. Well, I'll tell you what. When I get done with that computer chair I got, I think that's getting drug out here to the shop. Um, it's funny. I went to visit my Uncle Tom, my dad's brother in Nevada, and he's got a lazy boy and a TV, and essentially he's got another damn living room in his shop. And he goes, yeah, I'll come out here and I'll take a nap, and I'll get up, I'll work on my Harley, and I'll work on my Jeep. And good Lord, I think he's 76 or 77. So, hey, he gets her done, man. But then he ain't got to go far to take a nap. It's right there. So I get it. I get the logistics behind it. See, Naval Classic. I knew you'd recognize it. I'll tell you what, man. When they say they pay crazy prices for furniture, sometimes I might actually believe them because I'm telling you, this chair here has been through hell and back, and it's still usable. I mean, you look at the bill of ladder or some of the invoices on some of the shit that they buy when they redo the offices. They pay ungodly prices, but I don't know. You look at this stuff and you go, maybe it's legit. Terry Monster from Terry Wilson, Monster Garage. Interesting. Is he going to be your next special guest, Joey? Hell, I think I dumped a bunch of money at Summit more than once. I didn't so much as get a free hat from the bastards. Was she that short? Well, and as old as you are, Joey, it probably is. It probably is. Yep, I remember Monster Garage. Yep, I remember that. I don't think I missed damn near never an episode. That was always a fun show. I'm just trying to remember who Terry Wilson was. Was he on the show or was he like a producer or who was Terry Wilson? I remember Jesse James and all that. He was on the show. I don't remember him. Now I feel bad. Well, Monster Garage has been off the air for quite a while, and I haven't really watched it since it went off the air. I bet you I probably would recognize or notice him if I saw another episode. Yeah, that was a pretty fun show. Some of those freaking gadgets though were a little, you know, they did the task kind of sorta, but they were still fun. There was another show that was on when Monster Garage was on, and it was two teams that had to build these cars in junkyards, and they were working. They were in the same junkyard, but they were only allowed to go in one half, and the other team was allowed to go in the other half. I can't remember the name of that show was. and these cars had to do these tasks. Junkyard Wars. Chaz knows Junkyard Wars. That's right. That show was awesome too. His channel is Coverman 6. Oh, is that his name? I never knew his name. I subscribed to Coverman. Yes. He's like the LS goddess. Or god, should say goddess. He's not a chick. Yes. He was doing a Chevelle when I subbed to him. Yep. I didn't know that was his name. Well, I'll be damned. Don't I feel stupid right now? I think I subbed to Coverman when Vice Grip brought him on. Yep, exactly. Yep, Chaz just hit it right there. That's when I met or realized who. That's how I found Coverman, was when he was on Vice Grip Garage, and he was brought him on as his Ellis swap guy. Cool dude, super knowledgeable. So yeah, I watched quite a bit of the stuff on his channel. Not again, I can't keep up with everyone's stuff, but I was watching a few of his builds. He knows the stuff. Long skirt. I'm not a huge LS guy, but it seems to be the way of the world at the moment. So, I try to pick up little things here and there. My wife could be my husband. Dean, I'm hoping that's not a problem over there, because it sure as hell is a problem over here, them trying to figure out which gender is which. I don't understand how this is a problem, but it seems to be a problem nowadays. And it's really disgusting, to say the least. But, I want to tell another how to live their life. Yeah, I didn't know that was his name, Joey. I feel like an idiot now. Well, that's cool. So yeah, now I know who it is. I didn't realize he was on Monster Garage though. I had to go back and look at the episodes. I don't remember him being on there. That's interesting. Had he been on one of the teams or something? Because I know Jesse was bringing these teams in. So he must have been on a couple of the teams. Playing in Traffic. Playing in Traffic. Is that a show? I don't watch a super crazy ton of TV or YouTube, but I try to catch as much as I can. Since I put this get up here out in the shop, I've definitely been doing better at keeping up with people's stuff. Oh, ASO took off. I didn't even see it. Sorry, buddy. I probably should go and eat my cold ass dinner. Now that it's 10:43. I think he was a team member, yes, playing traffic show on YouTube Thursday. Oh, Stacy David. Oh, okay. That's another guy I used to enjoy watching on the Power Block with Stacy David. They used to have a lot of cool people on the Power Block and on Motor. Well, it wasn't Motor Trend then. What the hell did they call it? It was your Automotive Saturday shows, man. I think ever since Motor Trend took it over, they basically screwed it all up. I've never really cared for. They'd get a couple guys on, and then they'd leave, or they'd turn the show in some crazy direction. I don't know. Best mullet on Saturday mornings. You got that right. I'm telling you, Chaz, you'll get a little bit more done. I definitely have accomplished a little bit more. Plus, I get to keep up on some of people's stuff because I may not physically. I'll stop and watch some of it, but I'll be able to listen to it as I'm working. And yeah, I've actually liked having the TV out here. It took me a little bit to get it out here. I had to put um, it's a remote hub for the Wi-Fi. It's actually pulling it from my house. I ran a cable out to here, and I have a hub or whatever the hell you want to call it. That's what my brother does. He's an internet guy. He does networking and program writing and stuff. So he's the one that set this crap up for me because I have no idea how that works. I do carburetors. He does internet. We're good. Yes, Gears. I probably haven't caught any of his stuff though. I have seen them advertising the show Gears. Maybe I was thinking it was on TV rather than YouTube. I'll have to look that up. He's a good dude though. I like watching him. There was a lot of good dudes. I mean, even when Lucky came on, Lucky and then Tony, I think it was. I really like Tony. And he had a pretty good little backstory to him. He was kind of a long shot to jump on the show. What would be Hot Rod Garage? He ended up being a pretty cool dude. He was a race driver, and he actually made a video how he became to be where he's at, and it was kind of a fun story. Super cool dude. You'll get to it there, Chaz. You'll have to do a live. You'll have to do a live. They're a lot of fun. I enjoy this format because it feels like I'm actually able to talk to you guys one on one. When we do the stream or the StreamYard one, I lose the chat, and it really ticks me off because I'm kind of retarded. I can't do too many things at once, so I'm usually get stuck in the conversation on going on live with the other people that are in the windows, and then the poor chat gets lost. So at least here I can kind of keep track, stay up with you guys a little bit. For me, I like this format. It's more one-on-one. The other one, I kind of get lost between 800 different conversations going on, so it's kind of tough. But we still do them after the game show anyways, because I like having you guys on too. Oh, so Tony's got a new YouTube show now. Nice. I know he left Hot Rod Garage and they stuck that race driver chick. I can't remember her name. I haven't watched this. I haven't watched TV in a long time. I've actually only really watched YouTube. I hear she does okay. Her and Lucky just don't quite have the Alex Taylor. There you go. It seemed I hear from other people that it isn't quite the same as when Tony and Lucky were doing it, but it isn't bad. I hear she knows her stuff. The other thing too with a lot of those shows. Oh, yeah, I could do that, Joey. There you go. A lot of those shows though, they do a lot of shit that I just can't afford. I mean, it's cool seeing some of the new and a lot of the tech stuff they do and the high end parts. I just can't afford it. And I get it. It's sponsorship stuff, the fancy fuel injection and the $3,000, $4,000 transmissions and all that shit. It's great and all, but I'll never be able to afford that crap. So it doesn't really interest me much anymore. I'm more into the poor boy, 2-car garage type stuff. That's what I'm into. Pretty much what everyone here is, I enjoy everyone here that has I'm sub to. I enjoy what we do. I can relate to it, I guess. A Toyota? Where the hell did you see a Toyota? You see no Toyota shit in this garage. We don't defecate on the American flag around here. I don't care if it's assembled here. It was designed in another country. Oh, you're on BW's live last time? Oh, shoot. Yeah, I catch his live once in a while, Chaz. He's BW is a good dude. I like him. And he has some fun Friday lives. I've caught him a few times. That's what I mean. So many, everybody's got something cool. I mean, there's so many channels that has different shows and lives and whatnot. It's hard to freaking. Uh, it's really hard to catch everybody's. Stay tuned. He's got some cool. Yep. Stay tuned. I'll be damned. Okay. I like Tony. I Tony was one of the projects he built that really stuck on me. Does anyone remember that Fairmont he built? It was that sleeper that just freaking boils the tires off that thing. I mean, he bags on that freaking. Oh no, it was an LTD too, LTD or Fairmont, one of the two. I love that build. That thing was so freaking ugly with his stock shitty hubcaps. But man, when he leans onto that thing, no, it wasn't a Malibu. Was it a Malibu? Shit, I believe it was. It was a Malibu. That was an LS Swap Malibu, wasn't it? That's right. That's what it was. That was a while ago. That's right. It was an LS Swap Malibu. That's what it was. Yep. I was thinking it was a Fairmont. Who did one of those? Somebody did one of those. But yeah, I just remember him bagging on that thing in the previews. I'm like, that is freaking awesome. Ugly ass. I think it was a 4-door 78, 9 Malibu or 80 Malibu, something like that. Or maybe it was 81. It was that G body. He is just freaking bagging on that thing. Maybe it was the drift car I was thinking of. The Ass Monkey did. No, it's a Mazda. Nah, not even that. Blue Malibu. Yep. Gas Monkey did a Fairmont drift car. That was the drift car Fairmont. That was Aaron's car, right? Or was that after Aaron? Aaron did the Falcon. That's right. Aaron did a Falcon. So maybe the Fairmont was after Aaron. I'm sorry. When Aaron left the show, so did I. Aaron was the show, in my opinion. He did some cool stuff for those cars. And Richard's a douchebag, so I really have on the show. Maybe in person he's a halfway decent guy, and maybe Discovery made him out to be a douchebag on TV. But as far as I'm concerned, you look like a douchebag on TV, you're the douchebag. So Aaron did the Fairmont. Aaron's a cool dude, and his vision is not to mention he's a Ford guy, but I really liked what Aaron did. That guy was a visionary, and he knew how to take the simple lines of a vehicle and how to twist them and make it eye candy. I mean, not to kiss his ass overtly, but Aaron knows his stuff. And it was anything. It didn't even have to be a Ford product. Aaron just knew what twists and turns and what to do to those cars to make them pop. He really did. And I'm glad he took off to start his own business. I don't know what he's doing now. I know he had a show for a little while, kind of like a job type show where what was it? He went and did some jobs, or kind of like a Dirty Jobs version of for him though. And that was an interesting show too, but it wasn't the same. Gas Monkey did Eastwood Co. Look how dirty they. Oh, I don't know, man. It fucking there's something about Richard I didn't care for. Yes. Aaron's company, which is come on, brain. Arclight, I think. Arclight Fabrication or something like that. He started making kits for doing the custom chassis work on the F100s. Yes. And X-Ray Dean. One of the things I noticed is they brought in, I believe it was a 69 Lincoln, and just the few touches he did to that Lincoln, that car looked badass. And I'm not a big wheel guy. I really hate big wheels. He made him look good on that Lincoln. I'm not really a Lincoln guy either, even though they're pretty cool cars. Not really, I wouldn't stop the train to get a Lincoln, but the little twists and tweaks that Aaron did to that Lincoln, which I know Richard held him back on doing more, he really made that Lincoln freaking cool. It looked good. Yeah, it's Arclight Fab or something like that. And this, I mean, I enjoyed Gas Monkey in the early days when they were in the old shop, when it was kind of like, I don't know, I think it was before Discovery got in there and meddled with the bullshit drama crap. You know, they were turning out cars, they were doing the real work. And they had the other guys on there, which, you know, whatever, they were entertaining to an extent. Um, yeah, you're right, Chaz. Money ruins everything. Even if I got a ton of money, I'm still going to be a cheap bastard because I just, that's the way I am. There might be a thing or two I might throw at it, but you know, they gave Tom a lot of shit, and Tom was I'm sure Tom is probably not like that normally. He was a dumbass on the show, but I think that was all for entertainment. And some of the stuff he did was just to purely have fun. And I I've heard lots of renditions on why he was fired, and then again, it points back to he was probably he was trying to do the right thing, didn't do it the right way, and Richard was being the prick that I think he is, um, and fired him. And it had nothing to do with anything that was going on the show. It was the fans that wanted pictures in front of one of his cars, or it was bullshit's what it was. And yeah, so he just acted. I'm sure Tom. I'm sure Tom is not quite like that, except for when you want him to be in person. Uh, Tom's just probably a fun guy. He likes to have a good time. The other dude that got canned, I don't know. He seemed to be a knowledgeable guy. What the hell was his name? I'll think of it here in a minute. Starts with a J, right? I don't know what happened with him. One guy I didn't care for was the guy that replaced those two. I thought he was kind of a cocky douchebag. He came on when they did the Camaros. Uh, I didn't like him. I pretty much stopped watching the show after he came on. You're talking Casey. No, see, yeah, Casey, you're right. Casey's a cool freaking dude, man. When he left, I found he started a channel of his own, and I started watching a lot of his stuff back then. I haven't really seen what he's got going on now. Casey was a cool dude, and he had some good taste and stuff too. Great painter, like you said, phenomenal painter. I can't remember the guy he had painting after Casey left. He was an all right guy. I think he did a good job. Casey was definitely entertaining. He knew how to have fun. Uh, yes, yeah, you know, and I'll say it. I'm sure most people agree. Those freaking guys, Ass Monkey Garage, Casey, and a bunch of them that started doing these trucks are the ones that ran the price of them up. Because before these guys were Crown Vic swapping these fucking trucks, I was buying them all day long for $500, all day long. Short beds galore. I could have easily stacked them up like cordwood in my backyard. had I known this BS was going to take off. Yeah, it just drives me nuts. The blonde douche for the concourse Firebirds. Was it the? Oh, you know what, Chaz? You're right. It was the Firebirds, not the Camaros, right? The number 1 and number 2 was that? Am I correct there? Yeah, that guy was a freaking douchebag. I think he came on, and then he's the one that was there when the firing of. Uh, I cannot remember his name. Um, I'll think of it. Mika made it impossible. Well, Meekum or Barrett Jackson. And what gets me, I've heard horror stories about some of those Meekum cars. Tom Smith. Yep. But who was the other guy, Bruce? It was Tom, and it was what's university? Where did university go? What was the other guy's name? Jamie or some shit like that. Justin, no. Jamie, Justin. Well, yeah, Chaz, they ended up with another show, which was okay. And I'm trying to remember what the hell was the other dude's name? Anyways, yeah, they had the Misfit Garage. Thomas Weeks. Thomas Weeks. Yeah, that was the other. There's 2 Toms. Tom Smith and Tom Weeks. But I still can't remember the one dude's name, the kind of chunky dude who was in the 4-wheel drives and shit. Anyways, yeah, they did Misfit Garage. And that was okay. Except he kept having that fucking Richard show up in it. Jordan. There we go. Bingo. Jordan. And I like Jordan. It seemed like he was all right. He wasn't, maybe he wasn't a show builder or nothing, but he seemed like he was more of the backyard kind of guy. You had to Google it. Yeah, I couldn't remember it for nothing. But I mean, he was part of the original crew. I thought they turned out okay products. I mean, again, here we are with a show with one of them stupid ass timelines, which I think is just absolutely dumb. Who the hell wants to buy a car that was thrown together in 3 weeks? Not me. Ridiculous. If they made, okay, so we're talking car shows, right? To be honest with you, one of the best car shows and the most realistic car show, aside of the planted drama, was probably the Boyd Coddington Hot Rod show. Boyd was a prick. Everyone knows he's a prick. But you got to see the work as it was happening. And they were actually guys working in the shop doing the real deal, What the hell was the name of that? That was when I used to go over after work every day. On that day that the show came out, Dad and I would sit and watch it. Garage Squad. I forget about that one. There's another good show too. And what's his name? I'm terrible with names. The guy that led that show. He's a super cool dude too. He had his own little Joe Zolper. Now, he never had YouTube that I know of, but he had a Facebook page. And I followed his page. And that guy, I'll tell you what, Joel, that was Joel. You're saying it's Joe. Anyways, he's a smart dude. Real smart dude. I'm friends with Boyd's widow. Yeah, Joe. She seems really nice, Joey. I'll tell you what. Guy's got balls of steel to have his ex-wife working for him because I'm pretty sure I'd hit that bitch with a bus. I couldn't stand her. And is some of that shit drama created by Discovery? Maybe. But there's no way in hell I'd have my ex-old lady that American Hot Rod. There we are. Yep. That was, in my opinion, one of the best car shows, at least at the time. It had its drama crap, but you got to really see the guys doing work, and that's what I was interested in watching. Yep. Well, you know what? You know what would have made American Hot Rod better? Shit cannon that asshole Dwayne. I'm sorry. I would have teabagged him all the way out the fucking door. That guy pissed me off. That guy was a piece of shit. And I remember reading some articles that Karma got his ass later in life, anyways. Douchebag. Yeah. Douche Wayne. That's what I always called him. That was a fuck. And you know what's funny is Boyd had a lot of good employees too, and just his attitude ran him off. I mean, I know Jack was Bryce's Jack. He was on there, I guess. I got to go back and watch the early videos and see if I see him on there. But he ran a lot of people out of that shop, and it was just stupid. I mean, I get it. We all the shops like that have deadlines and stuff, but you got to be realistic too. Oh, disappeared. Well, I heard he did someone dirty, and I heard they they revisited him. I didn't hear they did anything bad, like killed him or anything, but he got fucked up. There was a big article about it. Someone revisited him. Yes, Bruce. Yes, that guy. Yes, he was really good. What the hell was his name? He was a pretty quiet dude, though. He didn't really get involved in any of that drama crap. But you're right, super good. And the old guy. Yes, the old, what the hell was his name? He passed away not long after the show, which is so sad. He was an ornery old fart, but man, I would have loved to work aside his ornery ass. That's the kind of guys I like working with. And you know what, Dean, X-Ray Dean? Maybe it was the show too. I mean, I've heard a couple of the people saying that Boyd was kind of a dick, but then again, sometimes you get the wrong perception of people. Maybe Discovery made him out to be like that. Which one, Joey? Oh, the sheet metal guy? Yeah. But you know what? It's a front on those guys. I've worked with old guys like that. It's just a front. I think there's a couple episodes. They brought the one girl on as an apprentice, and he warmed up to her. And I think there was another new kid they hired on, and he warmed up to him too. There was one dude they fired, which, I mean, he was kind of a fuck up anyways, but I think they felt bad for him too, just because of the situation. He was a good worker, but he was having a lot of personal problems, which it happens. But again, that show, in my opinion, was more realistic than any of the other shit that Discovery's put out. And that went for a few seasons, if I remember right. I enjoyed that show. Even though they, that fucking Dwayne though. God, that guy. Oh, that fucking Dwayne. They do? No, come on. I know you and Ark are always screwing around with each other. Hell, that was like that way back when. I always knew Arko would pitch shit at you, you'd pitch shit at him. I knew that. You guys were just playing. Arko's a cool guy. I don't think you want to fuck with him, but he's a cool guy. Super. There's another really good metal worker too. Frickin' Arko is crafty. Oh yeah. I mean, I don't. If I'm not making fun of you or joking with you, I probably don't like you. Because I'm not going to spend any time or waste my time on somebody I don't like. If I'm pitching you shit, chances are I like you. I don't look like you can fight. Iron Horse Garage. Were those the Idaho guys, or where were they at? Because I know a bunch of y'all got together and did the busting out schoolie, where you dropped the roof on the bus for. Now I'm forgetting his name. I am terrible with names. Nampa. That's right. Yeah. Yep. They're not too far from me. Probably 5 hours southeast. One of these days, I want to make a road trip east because I want to go meet Bear Rose, see him, maybe stop in and see these guys on the way through. Raise the roof. Jesus, I didn't lower it. Yep. Oh, so he's the one that runs the plane in traffic. Oh, okay. See, I get away from some channels and I lose where some guys take off and start new stuff, and I don't see it. Yep, I watched the bus. He raised the roof. That's right. He didn't lower it. That dumbass. He raised it. Yeah, because he's turning it into like one of those, what do they call them? There's a name for them, where they pimp out the bus into basically a motorhome. They got a name for it. And I did watch when you guys got all together. That was fun. Yeah, Kevin, he's another one. He seems like he'd be a really fun guy. I hear he's a pretty damn good painter, too. I'm going to get burned for this, but I don't care particularly for Jesse James. He's talented, don't get me wrong. The guy is super talented, but, uh, you know, maybe she shouldn't dirt air his fucking personal business on TV or something. That's what got me not liking him. Jesse James is a very, very, very talented metal worker, but I don't care for him. Jesse James. He's very, very talented. And I like his style and bikes and stuff. I don't like him. Yeah, I'll probably pay hell for that, but whatever. Chaz knows. He's a dick. You know, I heard his life stories and shit. I kind of get it. But there's also a thing called leaving the past in the past. And that's kind of what I believe in. And then I also believe in don't fuck up your future, thinking with your dick. Which he pretty much did both of those things. So, and then one of my good friends kind of emulates him, and I'm not really friends with him anymore. Hey, his metalworking experience and talent is second to none. He's really, really, really good. I watched him build bikes from fucking bars of steel. Guy's got talent, but don't be a dick. He's a dick. Yeah, I don't see a point in being that way, but that's me. Jesse, right? Tell us how. Yeah, I am not sexy, dude. I am far from it. I am the direct opposite of that. Jesse, and you know what, Bruce? Maybe he is. Yeah, I know he had a real rough upbringing, and I get it. Everyone starts from a different point in life, coming from different sides of the track. Leave that shit in the past. Don't make it out to be who you are. Make you to be who you are. My workmate was hanging out there. Anyone who uses the Tommy machine gun. Yeah. Now, which one, Dean? You said the tattooed biker chick, because he had that fucking one that had the was in a tattoo discovery show, and I couldn't stand that bitch. Well, Joey, you know what it is. The good chicks always like the bad boys. You know, Sandra's a sweetheart. That's all there is to it. You know, you can't help but love her. She's a sweetheart. And wasn't Jesse last? I think his last one was a drag racer or something. Or no, he was either married or dating the Patron gal that drove the Patron top fuel car. I don't know. Whatever. Like I said, the guy's a phenomenal metal worker. I just don't like him. And there's no rule that says I have to. See, Chaz knows what's up. I didn't learn that one. That was my problem. I uh, I was married super young. I was probably pretty dumb. Go hot rod sweet chicks. Well, Joey, I don't know. It's a good thing though, because I'd rather have the old guys than a bunch of the fucking skinny jean hat backwards. Yo, bro, it's sick. Yo, bro, it's sick. It's sick, bro. Get the fuck out of here, Slim Shady. I ain't got no time for you. Now I'm gonna find that clip in about 300 videos. Damn it. Uh, I was 20 when I got married. She was 19 or 18. 18. And my son was born shortly thereafter. And I was married first, though, so it wasn't like that. But, wait a minute. Well, yeah, you're on that side of the country, though. Y'all fucking do everything backwards, so. I occasionally wear my hat backwards. But you don't wear it flat billed, do you? And have the fucking sticker on the damn thing still? I'd slap that fucking hat right off your head if you did. Don't do that. I just got a text from an unknown saying my oh, Jesus Christ. Oh shit. Yeah, I mean, I was married for 10 years, and I don't know. It's one of those things where when you get married young, either it works or really it doesn't, and it didn't. We became two very different people, different priorities. And a lot of guys said it's cheaper to keep her. Nope, no, it was not. It was way cheaper not to. Yeah, yeah, Bruce, you're right. Steve McQueen. Yeah, that was I think they did a deal on him. That was a good one to watch. And he was another one that kind of came off as a prick too, but he really wasn't. It was just like you said, it was his youth, his upbringing. It was tough. Still a great actor, still a great actor, awesome driver. Oh, Chaz, totally right there, man. And you know what? You guys have been together that long. You both learned your quirks. You both accepted each other as you are. Fuck it. Why not, right? Just watch what she feeds you. Just give her what she wants at this point. She's gonna get it one way or another. Yeah, I mean, I'm never really gonna grow up. I'm always gonna play with my toys. You just my wife then had different priorities, and at that time, her instead of her family, her career was more important to her, and her friends were more important to her, and at least that's what it was then. And she seemed to think it was okay to spend her money and mine too, and I thought that that wasn't okay. Hey, what's up, Barrows? We were just talking about you too, a little bit, saying how one of these days I want to go out and visit you. Well, Joey, here's my philosophy on this. You're not pinned down by a wife, so who's going to make me grow up? Sometimes I feel like having that significant other to stick their foot in front of me to stop me and slow me down might be a good thing because sometimes I get a little out of control and I need some boundaries. And I ain't setting them for myself, let me tell you. But it's got to be the right woman because I'm not going to do it with just, I'm not filling the void type bullshit. She's going to have to be the one, and she's going to have to be able to live with all this because this shit's staying and she'll go. I've already made that freaking clear a couple of times. But yeah, I don't know. If one pops in, great. If one doesn't, whatever. I'm not worried about it. Bring a trailer to come. I need help with these. Well, I don't know how long I could stay, but yeah, hell, I'll throw some wrenches with you. Dude, I get hit on a lot. My response is blocked. I don't get hit on at all. I mean, I couldn't imagine why, but whatever. It's a gas tank for a love machine. Just no one wants to start it. I don't eat potatoes. What's wrong with you, Joey? I do eat potatoes. A lot. I like my potatoes. I like my carbs. Both kinds. No way. How do you get starch? I don't know. Potatoes. I don't know if it's Uncle Ben's. Is it even PC anymore in the United States? They take his ass off the package too. I get rice. I think it says Winco on it. Love my white rice. No, licorice tastes like shit. The real licorice, I'm going to say. I know red licorice isn't real. The real licorice. Jesus, Joey. That's more like a freaking job interview. He just takes the can and throws a little on him, a little on the shirt, a little on him, a little on the shirt. Uh, Maybe I should do it like that. Maybe I should do like a new employee form. Make them fill that shit out and then attach the prenup to the backside, right? Fuck, you have to anymore these days. Jesus. What's hers is hers. What's yours is hers. Is the way they keep working it anymore. Yeah, right. Well, it'll definitely test them. That's for sure. Not that any of them have $3,500 to throw down, anyways. I don't know. Maybe they do. I'm just. I'm gonna play with my cars. I mean, that's all there is to it. I ain't every one of them I meet. They want to go to the damn beach, or go here, or go there, and I'm thinking is that's cutting into my fucking garage time. I want to be in the garage. Obviously, I need to be because I need to clean this shithole up. But and they're like, "Well, you need to be on vacation. You need to relax." I do. Right there. That's where I relax. I kick my feet up for a few minutes, and then I get up back on my feet. I start working some more. Right? I don't need to go to the beach to relax. I just need a beer and come out to my shop. I feel like they don't understand that. That's always puzzled me. Split my cheeks in half. Oh yeah. Well, see, that's kind of how my mom and dad did it. My dad was not very good with money, so he had what was called a shop account. So he would give my mom basically his paycheck, and then she'd give him a little stipend. And he was in the service. He did Marines, and then he did the Army Reserve, and then we retired from the. He did the reserves, and then he retired. So his reserves checks, and then his retirement check from the reserves went into the shop account. Plus, he ran a side business, and then he was automotive. He did an automotive repair business on the side, and any of that money made in the shop stayed in that account. So kind of like it kept him from pissing away all the money on cars. And my mom was cool. I mean, Jesus, my dad never asked permission for nothing. He just started dragging shit home, and they're perfect. I mean, yeah, I don't think you could ever find anyone quite like my mother to put up with the crap my dad and I would drag home. I mean, he'd stack the backyard pretty full of cars. But every time he talked to her, she said, "You know what? As long as the bills are paid and there's food on the table, she didn't care." So find another lady like that. You ain't finding too many of those. Judge Judy, she's quite the judge. I think you done pretty good though, Bear Rose. I mean, all the stuff you got going on and the collection and stuff, and she don't really give you too much heartache about it. I think you got yourself a good one. She takes care of you anyways. You take care of her. Cheeks. I think I started to say it, Dean. I corrected myself. Oh, 2:30 in the morning. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go heat up my ice cube dinner that my daughter made me an hour and a half ago, and now I'm gonna have to do the dishes. So I think we did pretty good tonight. 3.5 hours. That's a pretty good one. But anyways, I think we'll shut her down for tonight. I'm getting thin, as you can tell, so I'm gonna go feed the old tank. I know. Finally get her to cook a meal and I'm not even going and eat it. God, I'm terrible. So, anyways, guys, I want to thank y'all, Dean, Joey, Bear Rose, Chaz. I think we lost Bryce 2 hours ago. But anyways, thanks for coming on. I know it's an impromptu deal. I don't make it a big announcement. Bruce too. Thanks, Bruce. Bruce, if you got a channel posted or let me know. I appreciate you coming on. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go eat. I think I'm starting to get hunger brain. I can't think straight. Anyways, guys, y'all have a good night, and we'll 1st of March. We'll be doing our garage trivia. It's 2 weeks now. So if I don't do it live before then, we'll see you then. I'll definitely have the after show. So, anyways, if I don't see you before that, have a good night. Thanks for stopping in, fellas.